Hi everyone, good evening. I am Maria Teresa Judith M. Principe and I will be with you tonight as your co-host. I am a graduating student of Mapua University taking Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. I am also affiliated with the American Concrete Institute Mapua Student Chapter. And tonight is another night for us to learn, inspire, and engage ourselves with how wonderful knowledge could be when applied. The objective of this channel is to promote the feminine genius advocacy. One of the many goals is women empowerment and gender equality through education and livelihood. One way to educate is by inviting guests of any gender who will impart their personal journey, challenges, and breakthroughs that will give invaluable learnings to viewers. By becoming a guest, he or she is tagged as the friend of the feminine genius. And tonight we will have another co-host, Miss Ella Wans, who is an IT specialist, research coordinator, an educator, a vlogger, an industry practitioner, a researcher, and soon to be a doctor of information technology and financial advisor. And now, let us welcome our host for tonight, Dr. Ria Liza C. Canlas. By profession, is a registered civil engineer, accredited materials engineer 1, and certified patent agent. Dr. Ria is an industry practitioner, educator, researcher, innovator, inventor, technology scientist, entrepreneur, patent professional, and science communicator. Also, Dr. Ria promotes the feminine genius as a female making impact in the male dominated industries such as construction, manufacturing, and creatives for an authentic cultural change where deep technology revolutionizes creative industry towards sustainable and inclusive development. She was also featured in several media outfits as an ASEAN designer and a woman in science. She is also the current director of the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship of National University, Philippines. So, what we are waiting for? Together, let us welcome Dr. Ria Liza C. Canlas.
Okay, good evening, everyone. And of course, welcome to my channel, Dr. Ria Liza. And this channel is meant to promote the feminine genius advocacy, specifically the attributes of a feminine genius. Our membership packages for our feminine genius are also the attributes, no? And these are humility, kindness, patience, good character, industry, virtue, piety, and devotion. And as a feminine genius, I spread lessons and insights by featuring people from my network of any gender to share their personal journeys, their challenges, and their breakthroughs. Listening to others people's story is called humility, and sharing is called generosity. We are somehow influenced by the lives of other people that we can apply in our own selves. Remember, life is short, so let us live our lives to the fullest. Let us be inspired by our guest. Hello, Judith. Kamusta
Hi
ka
po.
na?
Okay naman po. Kayo po.
Very fine, busy. Siyempre, alam mo naman yan because of our net-shed tayong
Yes.
dalawa, di ba? Opo, it-shed rin pala si Ella. Hello, Ella Wans. How are you?
Hi ma'am, ayan narinig ba ako? Hello
Yes,
Judith
oo.
Hi, Miss
and Ma'am
Ella.
Ria. Thank you. Good evening to all of you.
And of course, we are live via our Facebook page, The Feminine Genius, and of course, the Facebook groups, The Feminine Genius Group Philippines. And of course, for the Feminine Genius brand development and direction, thank you, Mr. Bon Labora. And coming very soon, the soft launching of our book, The Feminine Genius Meets. This is, of course, to be published by Agimat Publishing, of no other than, of course, Bon Labora. All right. Ella, what do we have right now? You're muted.
Ayan, hi Ma'am Ria, ayan going back. Medyo ano lang ako ngayon, sa grad school loaded kami. Pero ayan, mega love shoutout po to all of the viewers of Dr. Ria Liza. And of course, sa mga loyal viewers diyan 'no, from the Feminine Genius Live via Facebook, um, the Feminine Genius Philippines, parang nag-e-echo ako. Ayan, mega love shoutout po sa lahat din po ng Team Helpful na nandito, napakaaga po nila kanina 'no, as early as 8:46. Ayan, nandiyan na po sila, nagsho-shoutout pa po sila sa live chat ni Ma'am Ria. And ayan, may I take this opportunity also to quickly, also shout out, Mommy Erlinda Cadilo. Ayan, hey po Ma'am Ria, Ma'am Ella, have fun everyone. Ayan. And Team Helpful from Jenny's Adventure. Ayan, thank you Kath Nell TV, Team Helpful, and Happy Dunks of 04. Ayan, and sa lahat po na nandiyan po na laging sumusubaybay kay Ma'am Ria. Once again, good evening to all of you. And another night na panibagong learnings po ang ating matututunan po sa panibagong guest po ni Ma'am Ria tonight. And syempre, hindi po mawawala yung exciting no, na kwentuhan at the same time, may mga takeaways tayong makukuha at hindi po nawawala yung Pinoy henyo po ni Ma'am Ria. So, wag po kayong magwawala, mag-invite pa kayo ng maraming friends para po manood sa live streaming ni Dr. Ria Liza and makapag-invite po tayo ng more members na for Dr. Ria Liza. So, yan muna for the meantime. Back to you, Ma'am Ria and Judith.
Yes, Judith, what do we have for today? I think you're muted, Judith. Nakamute ka, Judith. You're muted.
Nakamute ba siya? Ay, nakamute ba si
Nakamute
Jude?
ka.
Ayan.
Nakamute ka.
Hindi pa rin.
You're still muted, Judith. While we're waiting for Judith to fix her mic, uh, I inviting everyone to be a member of the Feminine Genius and of course enjoy our perks and benefits as a member. No, last week nag-member sa atin si Sister Midet uh, from MU. So I hope that more people will be joining us because we have so many plans, no? Wonderful plans coming very, very soon. No? We're just waiting na medyo maayos ng ating alert level at ating condition this COVID bago tayo mag full blast ng ating mga projects. Okay? So Judith, are your mic ready? Okay na? Hindi siya na-unmute? It's still muted on our part, no?
Sige ma'am, oo nga.
Sige, ikaw muna,
Ako
Ella.
na lang. Okay, so as I mentioned a while ago now, we will have a short game later and have fun with our guests. So it's a Pinoy Henyo game. We will ask the viewers also to guess 5 significant words that our guest mentioned during the presentation. Then Gcash prizes will be given the winners and the amounts is based on number of viewers. So please invite more friends to watch the live streaming of Dr. Realiza. Every Saturday po ito, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. So Dr. Realiza has been going live every Saturdays. So wag po kayong a-absent. Since this show started already last September 2020. Ayan. So once again, please don't forget to subscribe, Dr. Realiza. Hit on the notification bell, comment, like, and share. So,
Hello po.
ayan.
Ayan,
Ayan,
umokay na po ang
finally.
aking mic finally. Lumuwag
Ayan.
po kasi yung cord kanina. So,
Okay.
so ayun guys, sa mga nanonood po, the amount of our prizes depends on the number of viewers po. Kaya stay tuned po kayo sa ating channel. Marami po kayong matutunan ngayon gabi.
All
Ayan.
right. So, Wala ka nang a-announce, Ella? Nag-shoutout ka na sa mga friends natin. Also, for those who are watching at our Facebook, no? Hello sa inyong lahat. All right.
Yeah.
So, don't forget to like, subscribe sa channels namin, Dr. Ria Liza and Ella Wan. Si Judith baka susunod, meron na rin niya.
May channel na siya.
For sure, ma'am. Idol kayo eh.
We have a special co-host later. Uh, he will be joining us later para ma-meet niya ang ating special guest no this evening. Rafi Chico will be joining us in a while because his radio program is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sabi niya, Doc Ria, give me time to go home and change my clothes so, before I can join your live stream. Okay, Rafi Chico, sana nasa biyahe ka na ngayon kasi tapos na yung radio show mo kanina at nanood ako. Okay, and I'll see you in a while. All right. So this time has come to introduce our guest for tonight. Welcome to today's episode. The Feminine Genius meets the MSME mentor. This is Late Night with Dr. Ria Liza featuring Up Close and Personal with Miss Sherill Ramos Quintana. Let us know more about her in this video. And aside from featuring her in that video, you will also see her beautiful venue place in Laguna. I've been there twice. At hindi ko pa nilalabas yung picture ko na kung saan pakaganda ng Christmas tree. Sa Christmas ko, yun ang profile pic ko sa Pasko. So, hindi ko pa nilalabas yung picture ko dun sa kanyang napakagandang Christmas tree, of course. At na-try ko na din yung ibang products niya na she is award-winning product ito, no, na malalaman natin, of course, on her story later. I am so amazed. I know that all of us are looking up to how this person was able to become an internationally awarded entrepreneur. And so let's watch this video.
Ramos Quintana is the founder and president of Oryspa Spa Solutions Incorporated. Oryspa is the #1 maker of 100% natural rice brand-based health and beauty products in the Philippines. It won the Most Promising Franchise at the 2015 Franchise Excellence Awards and the ASEAN Business Awards for Excellence in Healthcare at the ASEAN Business Summit at Vientiane, Laos last September 5, 2016. Sherill is a sociology graduate of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. She finished her Certified Franchise Executive course, a mini MBA in franchising at the Asian Institute of Management. She is also a trained Gallup USA Strengths Coach. In March of this year, Sherill was named ASEAN Woman Entrepreneur in Hanoi, Vietnam. She was also cited as one of the most inspiring Filipina of 2016 and is part of the book 55 Inspiring Stories of Women Entrepreneurs by Go Negosyo. Participating as a policy dialogue contributor in the World Trade Organization's Report 2016 on leveling platforms for SMEs. In May 2016 at Geneva, Switzerland, she was invited again by WTO as speaker last September 27 at the WTO book launch, public forum, and debate at its headquarters. Currently, Sherill is a member of the board of directors of the Philippine Franchise Association. Aside from being a multi-awarded entrepreneur, she is a passionate mentor and professional speaker on the topics of entrepreneurship, branding, franchising, and strengths-based coaching. She recently launched her book, A Small Entrepreneur's Journey: How to Start, Survive, and Succeed. Above all, Sherill is a true blue mom, taking care of 4 wonderful children with her husband Jingle in their home in Laguna.
right. So to the maximum level. Let us know how this Filipina was able to have this very promising entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial journey, know about mentorship, branding, and franchising. Let us welcome. Ito yung totoong beauty and brain. Mga best, may nanalo na. Okay? Hindi tayo
Sana all
nanalo.
po, no?
Pinataob tayo nito forever, no? Kaya kailangan malaman natin yung beauty secret niya, baka yung mga products pala niya yun at bibili na tayo lahat. Let us welcome, of course, Ma'am Sherill Quintana. Yan, lagay na kita. Hi, Ma'am Sherill. Ayan, sabi ko na may nanalo na eh. Yan.
Hi
Oo,
po.
nandito ako, nagtatago ako dahil pawala-wala ang signal, no? But anyway, I'm very excited. Thank you so much, Dr. Ria Liza, Ella, and Judith for having me in your show. I'm very excited to be with you for all the empowered women here that are watching with us and for the empowered men supporting the women. So, good evening and I'm very excited for us na magchikahan tonight.
All right. So, Ma'am Cheryl, iwan ka muna namin dyan. We will listen to your story. At kami, ang mga viewers natin ay talaga nagte-take down ng notes. Kaya pahirapan mo sila sa quiz natin mamaya. Okay. So, sige, Ma'am Cheryl, take it away, Ma'am Che.
Yes. How do I start? I start with introducing myself ba, Dr. Ria?
Yes, you can start by sharing your journey, your personal journey.
Well, so I started actually 2020 is my 20th anniversary as an entrepreneur, no? Parang sa ano may ugat na. So 20 years, 20th anniversary. So 2021 is yan, more than 2 decades of doing business. And like many of our MSMEs in the country, I also started very small. I started as a micro entrepreneur. Also, even starting with just 5,000 capital in year 2000. I never planned to be an entrepreneur, but doing aromatherapy hobbies at home while taking care of my firstborn, si Elmo, who's also, I know you will be having him soon also. He's now in college, but also doing his startup as an entrepreneur. So while I was doing my aromatherapy hobbies, when I had him, I started also the opportunity of selling those during those times. I used to work as a development worker for USAID as it was shared in the video. Yung video na yon 2016 pa yon actually. So they need to update kasi alam mo naman ng mga entreps, ang daming nangyayari through the years. The journey, goes on and on. Especially now during the pandemic, we had a lot of opportunities. And in fact, during the time, 21 years ago, I was looking forward to go back to work, no? Like all career women, we always look forward to bettering ourselves in our careers. So when I had Elmo at the time, there was no available nanny, and siguro makaka-relate, a lot of mothers during their firstborn are very protective. They want to take care of their firstborn. So that also happened to me. And so with the help of a sturdy baby car seat, I was bringing him in my bazaars in Ateneo, Miriam College. During that time, tumatakas ako sa husband ko kasi syempre I was supposed to stay at home because I had a difficult pregnancy with him. That's the reason why I had to stop working. I used to travel a lot all over the country. I was doing community work with tribal communities in Mindanao that time, that was funded by USAID. So fast forward to the time, I plunged into entrepreneurship, but hindi ko yun, walang term, parang walang title, no? I never planned to be one nga, sabi ko. Sabi ko, pag lumaki siya, I'll go back to work. And, but then it didn't happen. So, but when I was bringing him, then and there, I realized that entrepreneurship, or they coined a term, mompreneurship, is very fit for mommies. It's a good fit for women who also want to integrate family life and career or entrepreneurship. So after several years and three more children, I realized that I was doing my business. It used to be a manufacturing company. It was called Kutitap Aromatherapy Crafts, and there was no, much more of a system. Parang mom and pop store yung takbo ng business. My workers were like family. Of course, until now, ganun pa naman. But there was not much of a system in place during the time. So I had to, it has ups and downs, and I had to think about it. And later on, I learned that most micro entrepreneurs in the country, we're losing a lot of opportunities to build an empire, so to speak, and touch more lives by missing the business system in place. That's the reason why I'm a very strong advocate for branding. I'm a very strong advocate for putting operational systems in your business. I'm sure Dr. Ria is relating so much with this because she's an engineer. So I thought that if I put a system in place in my business and run it professionally, it will grow dramatically. And true enough, in 2010, I stumbled upon, or I established Oryspa. As you've seen in the video, it's the number one rice brand-based spa products in the country. So all the strategies that I was doing before with my manufacturing company and more of distribution and supply, I change strategy, and I applied branding. So I embarked on a branding journey, and that is why I'm espousing that and paying forward to a lot of MSMEs right now, because it really worked so much for me. And I had a tipping point by doing that for my entrepreneurial journey. And then it was 2010. We're supposed to join California Gift Show through the help of DTI. We were doing product development, and then I withdrew from joining the show because I thought gusto ko dapat ano siya, naka-focus on having homegrown products. I was trying to see what can we produce as a raw material in the Philippines that can be brought internationally, or that can actually be sold in the global market. So I stumbled upon rice bran, which is the flagship material of all Oryspa products. And because a lot of our MSMEs can relate to my journey, there was just a limited capital at the time. So for me to expand it dramatically, because I know that if we want to dominate the market, we have to be fast. We have to be fast in expanding it. So I started franchising the company, the Oryspa as a brand, in 2011. And it grew from 1 to 30 stores in the next 2 years. And then we grew, and we export the brand in several territories outside the Philippines. And so that's how it grew. And we had our tipping point during that time. Oryspa, or the it is a play of words for Oryza sativa, which is the scientific name of rice, and those were started to be sold during the time for spa, because we're a supplier to institutional clients like spa salons. And then in 2011, when we started franchising, locally known as Darak yun, no? Rice bran is locally known as Darak. So a lot were surprised, even me, because we're a rice producing country. But I was surprised that we're the first one who had it as a raw material for aromatherapy products or wellness products. So initially, a lot were saying that there's a great potential for skincare products, because there are a lot of cosmetic brands or skincare from Japan and from Korea that they extract, no, rice bran extracts or rice extracts they use for cosmetics. But I told myself that it is a very red ocean market already. A lot are competing in that category. So instead of going head on in skincare, I went to wellness products or feel good products. And that's how Oryspa was able to dominate the market. So in terms of spa products, we're the only one who uses it, not just in the Philippines, but actually globally. So the campaign was like Orisa Sativa or Rice for the Spa is like food for the soul. So you don't really have to go to the spa to relax. You don't really have to go to the spa to have that feel good experience. You just buy Orisa and you can have feel good anywhere, anytime experience. So that's how it went. And I know that my business has a good proposition, so I had to plan out and see high volume production, store operations, branding, expansion, systems integration, and of course, later on, not much later on, actually, a year after I launched it in the market, 2011, we went into franchising full force. That's how it grew nga, yon, from 1 to 30 stores. We're now over 60 stores all over the country. And during the time, those concepts were alien to micro entrepreneurs. That's why when I'm talking to them right now, I try to let them see, and also share to them what do you call this, the values, no, that help me along the way. I have to take a look at the questions ni Dr. Ria because honestly, when I was looking at those questions, I thought it was just like more of a guide questions ng kwentuhan, no? Okay, so I'll just, ayan. Okay, so after letting you know how are my challenges along the way, well, there are a lot of breakthroughs in my journey. First of all is when you talk about challenges, top of mind for me is looking for the right people to work with. When I was nominated for Young Entrepreneur Award in PCCI during that time, I remember the judges whom I actually work with right now. They were asking me, "She, what is the greatest challenge for you, and how, if there's a genie that asks you how you can be helped, what will that be?" And I said, "Finding the right people." And they were asking me. They were surprised because a lot say, especially startups, they say the challenge is finding capital or money. That is, of course, always a challenge, no? Even if you want to expand. But for me, if you have the right people to work with, you know where your heart is, you'll definitely be able to inject, no, capitalization to your business. So the breakthroughs, in fact, since I know where to bring my team forward, right away in growing from one to many stores all over the country, we're able to bring home for the country the ASEAN Business Awards in healthcare. And that is the first for the country. There are also a lot after me who wish to bag that award, but yeah, ang hirap kasi in ASEAN there are several countries and always it popped out. Singapore is a lot advanced, of course. So I think we're the only holder of that award in its history, ASEAN Business Awards for healthcare. And siguro the breakthroughs was that I have a story. When I was doing the branding journey, one of our consultants was he was a foreigner, and he told me, "She, if you want," because my vision actually from the very start is to be the top of mind choice when it comes to wellness products in Asia. And he was telling me, if you want to be known as an Asian brand, remove the word Filipino from your vision. And I said, what? Why? And ano talaga, no, sa term na Pilipino, sa term ng mga Pilipino, parang nagpanting yung tenga ko because for me, we had a long history already. 5 centuries, no, 500 years of being occupied. And for me, parang masakit yon isipin that we were not able to build so much Filipino brands. And he was telling me, if you're a Japanese brand or a Thai, probably it will be less difficult for you to go to Asian territories, no, different countries in Asia, because Japanese or Thai are well known for wellness products. And I said, maybe it's worth to try. So I told him, in branding or building a brand, it's like having um, building a house. No, there are posts in the house. You have the foundation of the house. If you remove one post or foundation, everything crumbles, right? So for me, that being known as a Filipino brand all over is a deep-seated motivation for me as an entrepreneur. Otherwise, I will not be able to continue. So that is your compelling vision. So yeah, for all the listeners who are startups, it should be something that you are truly passionate about when you are starting. So for me, being known as a Filipino brand is something that is motivating me on a daily basis because it's not easy to embark on an entrepreneurial journey. So he told me, okay, it's your money anyway that you're going to spend for branding, marketing in Asia. And so from that time on, I started um, franchising and started growing our brand all over the country. After 2 years, I registered the company in Singapore in 2014, and I met again our consultant, and he was telling me what a journey it has been for 2 years. But I was laughing because I was telling him I was actually not sleeping, trying, wanting, having that desire to prove that it can be made. No, we can make it happen. So now, if you ask me, so Dr. Ria was asking me, what are your guiding principles share in your journey? Uh, she was sharing earlier that sharings like these or listening to other stories is a humble um, undertaking. I truly believe in that because our journeys may be unique, but we can always get something from what others experience. You don't have to go through so much difficulty. Yun nga sinasabi na vicarious experience. You can see others having their journey, how they're able to navigate that, and you can truly learn from them. So what are my guiding principles? In fact, I've shared this in the first book that I launched, A Small Entrepreneur's Journey, because I'm running company and I'm also a mom to 4 growing kids. So I cannot always have the time to go around the country or do a lot of talks to mentor. So I wrote everything in my journey, what I have learned. And I've been always sharing this, the mindset or the guiding principles in my journey. First of all, is open yourself to opportunities. You don't really know what you'll stumble upon to. So listening to talks like this, I may probably be sharing, but I will listen also. I will learn a lot also from the journeys of other women here or from other entrepreneurs here. Of course, when you open yourself, you don't say, alam ko na yan, dinaanan ko na yan. You have to be humble enough to be teachable. And I think one of my traits over the years is that even if I know that I can accomplish so much, I'm very teachable. I listen a lot and also pick up things that can better my journey or better my life. And of course, you will never know what you need if you don't know yourself. So that is the third principle that I apply to my life and to my journey. Know yourself. Know who you are. It's like your brand. What is your brand's purpose in the market? Now, what is that space that you occupy? Because all of us have a purpose in life, and knowing that early on, you'll never go wrong. You'll know where you want to go, and you'll know how to get there. So along also with bettering yourself in your journey, you will never be a better entrepreneur without being a better person. So that's my fourth mindset or guiding principle in life, that try to make every day in helping yourself become a better person so you become a better entrepreneur. And I always believe that most entrepreneurs are very impatient. That is something that is very common, no, in most entrepreneurs. So that's my fifth guiding principle. Do it now. Do not wait for, ay, bukas na lang. Because you'll never know if tomorrow will be given to you. So as they were saying earlier, as our hosts were sharing earlier, that life is short. We have to, make the most out of it. So don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for things to be perfect for you or perfect environment. Just do it now and then tweak it and then make it a better one. And my last guiding principle after doing everything, within your capacity, always pray. I pray hard. I lift up everything that I do in my life, and that is something that helped me accept the things that were, given to me, and be really content with the gifts and the blessings that was given my way. And that's the last mindset. Pray hard. Okay, so well, they were introducing me early. The expertise, Dr. Ria Liza. I was actually guilty because she was asking me how she can introduce me or some pseudonyms or like a title. Although it's very helpful, I've never really was able to, uh, think it over. No, kasi ang daming hats that I wear, and yeah, MSME mentor. I love that. But I'm always very passionate also with a lot of things like branding, even personal branding. When I talk to people, it's like, sabi ko nga, even the politicians now, they can, get help with branding, with how they, they make themselves known for their followers. And of course, franchising, that has helped me pave the way for our brand to be known in so many territories. Kasi franchising is the power from growing one to many and actually using or optimizing. I like that word, optimizing other people's resources to help you out, bring your vision forward. So I'm very passionate in helping people get into franchising. In fact, I'm almost closing. This is my last month for my 2-year term as president of the Philippine Franchise Association. I'm very proud of our association. It's the only recognized franchise association, Philippine Franchise Association in the world. No, so we're a member of World Franchise Council and also a secretariat of the Asia Pacific Franchise Council. And come January, I will be the chairman of the board for Philippine Franchise Association. And for an MSME like me, it's I think also people relate that, wow, how can you do it? I think franchising is more for bigger companies, for large corporations. And it is sort of a breakthrough for me also, that I was able to show that MSMEs can level up. MSMEs can be heard, that MSMEs has their perfect space, in the sort of a slice in the pie, because we are dominating the market, but in terms of leadership in a lot of sectors, palaging member tayo. We're usually not leaders. And so my journey in franchising and also in the franchising sector in the Philippines was sort of breakthrough, not just for me, but for the entire sector of MSMEs. And when I was, it was earlier shared that I was invited to speak at a public forum in the World Trade Organization in Geneva. I was invited twice. And I think I was the only Asian, not just even Filipina, the only Asian to be a speaker. And also one of two women in the panel of, I think, six or eight. I can't remember anymore. But these are, senior economists at WTO. And I told them that for many years we were able to help the build economies in Europe, and this is the time to shine for Asia, and specifically for the Philippines. So that's also sort of a breakthrough for me to be heard in that platform, because I truly believe that yes, the Filipino brand we can always build Filipino brands that we can truly be proud of. And I always believe that when we're able to build Filipino brands, we can also stop exporting our people. Um, Medyo masakit yun, at saka malalim yun. I'm not, I'm not, I don't discourage that. It's a choice, but I want it to be a choice for people, not a parang sort of default, because there are not much opportunities in the country. So I'm very passionate with that also. In fact, I wrote a book and launched or published a book. Yan, dito pala. Publish a book, Yes, the Filipino Brand Can, at the height of the pandemic last year. And so they were telling me such crazy moves, because I launched this in June 2020, in my 20th anniversary as an entrepreneur. And they asked me, what's the logic behind it? Said, at the height that we are in a crisis, and people, especially MSMEs, have a nawawala na sila ng loob, it's good to have an inspiration to hear stories of global Filipino brands that went global. So I talked to founders of these brands. I was able to land an interview one-on-one with Mr. Tony Tan Kakchong of Jollibee. He usually don't grant interviews na, but I'm very blessed because he told me about how Jollibee started in the 70s and went into franchising um, in 90s, and even his failures, at the onset. Was also talked to all of the founders in the brands that you can see from this book, and everything is shared here. So I published this last year because I want them to like talk to you, talk to entrepreneurs that it's Philippines is not the end game, as in terms of market. So I want to have their stories shared to you through my book, and also my learnings as an entrepreneur who was able to bring Oryspa to global platform, and winning several awards after that, one after the other, was truly sort of an opportunity. But it felt always like, what is my responsibility? Winning those awards, I always ask God, what you want me to do? No, because winning awards is always an opportunity, and always a responsibility. I'm sorry, it's always a responsibility to pay forward, because when you get accolades or you get awards, it's sort of an approval. Yeah, you're not the one who give you an award, right? So your point of view about yourself doesn't matter. What matters is what people, or what is the perception of the world to your brand. And so that sort of helped me pay forward also, and also optimize the awards that I was given. And I have this penchant for moving on fast from one award to another. So I wear different hats as an entrepreneur. So people ask me a lot that I might be, don't you think you might be wasting time to mentor a lot of MSMEs? Because it's not easy. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur, much more if you are mentoring other entrepreneurs with their journey. But I'm truly blessed. I feel I have been on the receiving end of a lot of blessings that were also paved by other people, no, for my journey. So I always wanted to bring this forward to helping people, MSMEs specifically, what can be done. I was just thinking probably some of the things that I've known through the years, some of the strategies I employ might be applicable to them as well. So it's a very encouraging for me to reach out to other entrepreneurs. Right now, my week will always have something in this area, talking to MSMEs, helping them with their branding, helping them on how to franchise their business or how to reach out to being the boss, for example, if people want to go into franchising and avoiding scams. So these platforms was able to help me, reach out MSMEs and help me pay forward in this sector. And I like the feminine genius because it's not easy to be a woman entrepreneur or even being a woman. Being a woman leader, it's not easy, especially during this time. No, I always encounter that a lot of us are being judged for how we look rather for what we accomplish as a person, as a human being. But there's always that attached, the gender issue on how we can be able to accomplish, especially if you are a mother or you are a family woman. But I've always been helpful also to other women entrepreneurs and also women around me. 98% in my organization are women, and a lot of our team members or staff before where that left us actually pursued entrepreneurship also. And it will always be fruitful for me to see empowering women in terms of being successful and going through their journey in this sector. Yeah, so I think that's about it, and probably we can share in terms of some questions later on if you wish to know more about my journey. And it's still ongoing, and right now I'm very excited with the new projects Dr. Ria was sharing earlier. She's been to Ivory Space, and Ivory Space is parang anak ni Oryspa. But I'm very excited because the whole family is into this. My children, I'm surprised because I'm not pushing them to be entrepreneurs. They're all students still. My firstborn is second year college, but they're very active in our business life. And the pandemic's silver lining was actually for us as a family to uh, discuss more about this and make it a reality. So we're very excited with how things are unfolding each day. Yeah. So I think that's it. I've been talking like 50 minutes already, Ata. Yeah.
Yeah, all of us are taking down notes. Dami parang wala ay sinulat ko. Mga isang libro na naisulat ko ngayon. Alright, so, rest ka muna saglit. Magsha-shoutout muna tayo before our Q&A. Ma'am shoutout lang tayo saglit sa mga audience natin. Okay? Sige, Ella.
Ayan. So, good evening po, Ma'am Sherill. Ayan, I was also being enlightened dun sa mga sinabi niya kanina, no? Nakapag-take note ako, Ma'am Ria. So,
Ella,
by the way, I would
shoutout muna
like to
tayo. Parang nawala ako, no?
shout out.
Nag-ano ako,
Ah, yan, medyo naglalag ka,
nawala
Ma'am.
ako sa internet. Yes,
Ayan.
oo. Bago na,
Ah,
marami tayong tanong eh. Ako, ang dami kong tanong eh. Masyado ako nakarelate
yes.
1,000. So,
Ah, ah.
before the question, magsa-shoutout muna tayo, Ella once. So,
Yes, Ma'am Ria. Ayan. So, may mga unfamiliar names po ako nakita 'no sa live chat. So, it means ang dami pong sumuporta kay Ma'am Cheryl and kay Ma'am Ria tonight. So, mega love shoutout to all of you, lalo na sa mga nasa Facebook po live. Paki-shoutout din po ng names ninyo kasi hindi namin nakikita po sa live chat po ng YouTube. So, mega love shoutout po kay Mami Erlinda Cadillo, ayan, and Jeannie's Adventure. Ayan, from the Team Helpful, Kathnel TV, Happy Dance 04, ayan, present po host, sabi niya, Tams Love na din, virtual hug. Thank you so much for that. And then, the Feminine Genius Live, mega love shoutout din po. And, ayan, um, Facebook user, hi, good evening. Ayan, paki-shoutout din po ng name mo para po maisama po namin kayo sa pa-attendance po ng ating host kasi magpapa-grand raffle po siya. Of course, this month. And lahat po no ng mga nasa live chat ay kasama po yan sa attendance. Sumali natin no, isang beses ka lang nag-shoutout, ikaw pa yung mananalo sa grand raffle. Naku, napakaswerte naman. And also, ayan, good evening po kay Army Salazar. Ayan, salamat po for tuning in. And also to Sir Javier Centeno. Ayan, virtual hug po. Thank you so much for sending that virtual hug. Also, meron po dito si AP Type ACOB. Ayan, thank you so much. Vask that Tech. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Kathnel TV. Ayan, thanks Doc. Thanks Doc. And mega love shoutout din po kay Dindin Pascual. Ayan, salamat po for tuning in. Also kay Mas Showbiz lang. And we have Andrea Julian Mariano. Ayan, thank you so much for tuning in. Grace Antipino. Ayan, hi Ma'am Sherill Quintana. Ayan, talagang sinoutout po nila si Ma'am Sherill. And also, AJ Sarmiento. Thank you so much for tuning in and for sending the hearts. Ayan. And also, kay Facebook user, ayan, kung sino man ito, no, paki-shoutout po yung names. And Grace Antipino, I'm so grateful to be part of Oryspa for almost 6 years. Wow, napaka-loyal employee naman ito. Thank you so much po for tuning in and for supporting no the guest of Ma'am Ria and of course Dr. Ria Liza's channel. Every Saturday po ito 9 p.m. And ayan, mega love shoutout din po kay Ma'am Kat. Sabi po niya, good eve to all po. Sensya, 'yan, medyo na-late daw po si Ma'am Kat kanina because of the signal ng kanyang internet. It's okay po Ma'am Kat, no worries po 'no, and thank you so much for, being a loyal viewer of Dr. Ria and Um, also meron po tayo ditong mga ayan si May Soledad, thank you so much po for tuning in. Mega love shoutout to you. Happy Down 04 hanggang BG lang daw po siya kasi sobrang busy daw po niya. And Leia Villanueva, yan, proud Oryspa employee here. Very grateful po to Ma'am Sherill Quintana. She treats her employees like family po talaga. More power po. Ayan, wow, napakaganda naman yan. Sana all, no, ganun talaga yung mga employer. And standby na rin daw po ang main channel po ni Happy Dangs 04. Ayan, thank you so much, Happy Dangs. Ayan, thumbs love ulit po. Ayan. Proud Orispa employee here from Dindin Pascual. Ayan. And standby na ang dalawang YT ni Happy DTV. Thank you so much. Ayan, sa mga meron po mga angels dyan no, na channel, sana po don't forget to like and dagdagan pa natin ang thumbs up po ni Ma'am Ria. Ayan, sabi po ni Leia Villanueva, oh, hi everyone, grab a copy of Miss Sherill Quintana's books, hashtag a small entrepreneur's journey, and hashtag yes, the Filipino brand can. So by just placing your order through this link, kindly share to your friend. Thank you. Ayan. Actually, kinlik ko na yan kanina. Sabi ko, baka mapapa-order ako ng maaga. Ayun. So, napaka-affordable po ng books ni Ma'am Cheryl. So, grab na po yan. For sure, si Ma'am Kat, hindi po yan tatanggin yan. Kasi, ano yan, kailangan nila to kasi nag-online selling sila. So, Ma'am Kat. And thank you so much po, Ma'am Cheryl, for always mentoring every one of us to become a better everyday. Wow. Thank you, Jessie Carriel. And AJ Sarmiento, pa-shoutout po. Ayan, may galaw shoutout to you. AJ Sarmiento. Thank you for tuning in, and please invite more friends pa no, to give thumbs up to Ma'am Ria, and please don't forget to subscribe no Ma'am Dr. Ria Liza's channel and Ella Wants. And also, ayan sabi ni Ma'am Kat, hi po Ma'am Ella at sa co-host po, ayan, happy ng 04. And to all of the viewers na walang name po na nagsha-shoutout, mega love shoutout to all of you. So back to you Ma'am Ria and Judith and of course no Ma'am Cheryl. Ayan. Naka-mute po kayo Ma'am Ria, ayan. Fermina Sunga, pa-shoutout mo yung mga
Strike
anak,
me most.
ayan.
Yeah. Sabi ni Ma'am Shep, there are many who lose opportunity to build an empire. Okay, so
Correct.
which is very true, no? Sobra nakaka-relate tayo kay Ma'am Shep because we, like her, are entrepreneurs and we have our own technology, no? And yun nga, yung because of her technology, a truly Filipino brand, nagkaroon siya ng maraming award, and that award pala goes with a responsibility. Yeah, actually, that's the first time I heard of that. So, Ma'am She, so ibig sabihin, with all those things that you've been receiving, una-una, it's a validation, tama? It's a validation of for what
Of
you've
course,
accomplished.
yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Kasi,
Yeah. It was shared earlier in the video, no video intro ko that I'm trained strengths coach. No, it's like life coaching, and I always wanted to know what my strengths are, and I also wanted to help my team, specifically muna yung aking mga kasama sa trabaho, what their strengths are, so we can complement each other. And then I realized, sabi Dr. Ria, ng isa nung coach namin sa life coaching, you know, siya, sometimes you're too hard on yourself because you get an award and you move on too quickly without celebrating it. And so I parang after an award, parang ano na siya, nakaisang tabi na siya, and people were like, you know, um parang nahihiya kasi ako to be congratulated ng matagal, parang gano'n. You know me, 'di ba, when we're talking, sabi ko, "Ay, ano nga ba yung ano nga ba yung tatawag ko?" Because, you know, I'm really not after titles or sort, but it's a good thing. Now I realize when my life coach said that, you have to celebrate it. It's a validation of your hard work. And so that's correct, no, that getting an award is sort of a approval, you know, and a validation that people actually recognize how hard you work for it. And you should also appreciate yourself, how you work so hard for the things that you're able to accomplish. But it's also a responsibility for me because not a lot of people are blessed, no? There are also a lot of hardworking people. Bakit ako? Bakit hindi sila? Right? So I always have that question when I get an award. And I always think that God has something, you know, sort of a responsibility why it was given to you, because you have to do something, you know, to pay it forward. So that's the reason why I said that, you know, each of the award or accolade I receive, or any position in organizations I receive, is really has a meaning for me to pay forward for other people. Parang it's a blessing that you are, you know, that you can share to others. Yung-
yeah. So how do you celebrate? How,
Ayun. So,
sa
well,
sarili mo, paano
usually,
mo inaano sa sarili mo?
oo, usually, well, first of all is each of those awards that we got, it's always shared with our team. Halimbawa, when there's awards night, all of them had the opportunity to wear gown and receive, attend that award. And even if they don't come up on stage, but they celebrate with me during the awards night, and we always have team building after that. And I also invite very few of my close friends who were there since the beginning and never left me all through the years, you know, for celebrating with me. And of course, the family is always there. I don't go for big celebrations unless it's really parang work related or we're launching something. But for personal stuff, it's really more of Thanksgiving. So there's usually mass. Parang staple yon, may mass, and then we celebrate as a family and team. Yon. And ngayon na natutunan ko, I think a lot of women who in their 40s can relate, no? That always have me time. Yung ikaw lang, what is something that is that you wish to do, even if it's not going to the spa or taking a vacation. For me, these days parang ano lang matulog, ganyan. Or probably watching Netflix, and you don't really have to feel guilty about it. Kaya nga, Dr. Ria, yung concept ng ivory space, it's really guiltless relaxation. Kasi tayong mga women, no, that are hardworking, we usually forget about ourselves at the end of the day. Ako, guilty ako dun sa ganon for many years. Parang I spread myself too thinly because I always want to give myself to others. Ay, teka pala, I need to relax, I need to rest without feeling guilty because I owe it to myself. Yun. So that's how I celebrate.
That's so nice, kasi yung sa'yo kasi when you started receiving awards, sunod-sunod sila Ganun ang nangyari, di
Sunod-sunod
ba?
yan.
Sunod-sunod, tapos yung feeling mo, heaven. Siyempre, heaven. Oo. So, yung sunod-sunod na award. So, nakaka-inspire kasi, you know what, Michelle, ako kasi, ang mga awards ko puro national. Sa international, nahihirapan ako because hindi adapted ng government projects ang products ko. No? So, yun ang
Yeah,
no?
I can understand. Yes.
Yes,
And I see
oo.
also your journey. It's very fruitful, and a lot of people are benefiting from it. Yeah.
Oo, yes, oo. Kaya sana, yung sinabi mo kanina na Filipino brands can do. Hindi mo sinunod yung consultant, di ba? You have your own belief, no, that Filipinos can do. So, 2 years. Ito yung sinasabi mong 2 years journey bago ka is Singapore your first? Singapore is your first
Yes, outside the
branch?
Philippines. Yes.
Okay. So, 2 years. So, ano tong nararamdaman mo na doon pa sa Singapore may nakalagay na Philippines doon sa ano mo? How do they know it's a Filipino?
Yes, it's even in my products there's proudly, it's not even Philippines lang Dr. Ria it's proudly proudly made in Laguna, Philippines. O, di ba?
Wow.
Lahat ng produkto na lalabas, yun ang nakalagay talaga. So, that's parang ano siya, it's an inner motivation. You know, when we're doing a show in Singapore is the first country that we registered as a company. Pero it's not the first country that I exported to. Kasi exporter kami since nung nag-start kami ng Kutita. Pero kasi indirect kami na supplier So with Oryspa, it's branded. So we're exporting the brand. We're not exporting just the products. So there was this experience. We were selling in the US in 2012. And so our product may nakalagay, proudly made in Laguna, Philippines. Di ba may Laguna rin sa US? And they were saying, where's Laguna, Philippines? So they were like, curious about it. So yeah, it's funny, but it's a deep-seated motivation for me. So kahit hindi maintindihan ng iba at first, and so knowing or winning the awards internationally one after the other is like a vindication of my being steadfast, being known as a Filipino brand. Kasi maraming hindi naniniwala noong una Parang feeling nila, it's going to be very difficult, ganyan. It's going to be probably not possible. So, yeah, I just took the shot because I don't want to live life with regrets, 'di ba? Lahat naman tayo ayaw ng kasi natakot ka, 'di ba? you're
Yeah, yeah.
scared to try it because a lot of people say it's not gonna happen. So, yan.
I believe
So,
eh,
at the
kasi,
end of the day, yeah, sorry.
oo, may mga, sa akin kasi may mga nagko-convince to make it Hong Kong brand, Singapore brand, para maging mas, ano
Mm,
siya, no? Pero, ngayon, naririnig kita with all your conviction that really the Philippines can do it, no? Sadly, there are really products na, may naging guest kami dito. I hope you know Isa Miheno, the salt lamp,
mhm.
yung salt lamp na in-interview siya ni Obama, yung ano. But
Yes,
now, you
yes.
know, her products are in Switzerland eh. Nauna sa ibang bansa kaysa dito sa
Mm-mm.
Pilipinas, no? Well, sabi mo nga kanina, sabi mo if you have a genie at ang iyong ni-request ay how to have good people, samantalang kami how to have capital. And that's true, no? Kasi kami ganun din, lack of capital, no? So, hindi ang ganda nung ano mo ng vision mo sa tao. So, how were you, what's this formula for having to sense na this is the right people? Kasi nararamdaman kita eh. Ang dami ng tao
Mm-mm.
na nanloloko, 'di ba? Yung di mo pagkatiwalaan, di mo maiwan yung business.
Yes,
Ano yung
yes.
tip na masasabi mo na, oh, sundin mo na yung iyong gut feel that this person is the right person?
Correct, tama. And that is very relatable to a lot of your viewers who are in business, no? They cannot leave their business, sira ang schedule nila because they cannot, trust the people they work with. And I'm very blessed. Nakatuwa, shinare ko lang yung link kasi doon sa group chat namin sa opisina. Tapos, siguro kasi wala na, especially yung mga nag-chat kanina na staff namin, kasama namin sa team. Some of them are based in the stores. They're not based in the office. So, close na siguro yung mga stores. So, they were able to watch ngayon. But you see how supportive they are. So, they tell me that I'm a very supportive boss to them. But I'm very hard also, as a boss, no? Parang mahigpit ako, stricto ako, and I'm very clear with what I want. So, what happened also, if you ask me, how do you do that? Even my close friends say, "Siya, bakit yung mga staff sa office pare-pareho ang demeanor, pare-pare parang." Sabi ko, the secret is having a culture in the office and be very clear as the founder, as the boss, be very clear about what you want. Because they will get lost. Hindi naman sila ang nagsimula ng dream mo, ng vision mo. Hindi naman sila ang nagsimula ng brand mo. They joined you, 'di ba? So, don't make it like parang default na sila ang masusunod. Be very clear about what you want and you share it to them. I actually have a term for this, Dr. Ria, Ella, and Judith, no? The term is internal branding. So I'm very passionate about branding kasi it was for me a breakthrough for my journey, knowing who I am and what my brand represents. So, hindi ka nagko-compete, kahit may competition ka, exactly the same product, for example. Although with Oryspa kasi we have protected our intellectual property assets, no? Pero, let's say for example, some MSMEs who are making products that are similar to others, if you know what the space you occupy in the market, you don't feel really bad about competition eh. Kasi you know who you are, what you can accomplish, and what is your purpose in the market. So that is accomplished in branding. Tapos ganito, marami ang mga entrepreneurs, alam nila kung anong gagawin nila, saan sila pupunta, ano ang kanilang vision, but they fail in transmitting that to their team. Yun. So, I'm very hands-on as a boss in terms of training, especially pag bago yung staff namin or team member namin. Kahit yan ay nasa sales, nasa marketing, ang ginagawa namin na strategy, meron kasi kaming training module, 14 days ang haba na training module, parang Velcro ang type. So, you train one person and that person Velcro or paano ba to? 'Di ba ang Velcro kasi you attach, no? Parang when you attach, they become one and then they separate again and attach to another. So that's the sort of the technology for training. And I term that as internal branding. Kasi if you just go and go like you're the only one who knows where you want to go, tapos hindi alam ng staff mo, ay, yun pala yung pupuntahan natin, yun parang goal natin in 3, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, gusto pala natin maging kilalang Asian brand. They'll not be able to help you get there. Kasi hindi nila alam eh. So, you have to be very clear. So, yun, internal branding. And we do that, hindi siya once na parang when you get into the company or when you be part of the team, one time lang siya. Meron kami parang refresher course. We term that as a huddle. We huddle, they huddle with each other. I don't necessarily have to attend that eh. Sometimes lang, pag medyo parang may red flag signs na medyo hindi sila nagbabond or hindi sila aligned sa isa't isa, I attend. Tapos I parang share to them na, mukhang may missing point dito. So, that's how I was able to find the right people. Not actually nga, kasi good is relative, di ba? But the right people for the position or for the team. Yan. Ganon.
May kasabihan kasi sabi ganon, how to make your employees happy. Ang sagot daw, remove the unhappy ones.
Tama naman
Remove
din
the
yun.
unhappy ones.
Tama din yun, Dr. Ria. Di ba, tayo kasi pagka employer ka, no, parang ino-offer mo na lahat, tapos wala pa rin, umaalis pa rin or something. I think you only have control with what you want and with what how you transmit this to them, but they have the choice. So if they're not happy, I always tell them that if you find somewhere that can really make you happy, masaya ako to let go. But yun, our average for our staff is 4 or 5 years. Yun, ang parang turnover rate. Yun,
Over,
4 to
yeah.
5 years.
Actually, parang timely kasi kaninang umaga meron kasing Facebook memories and I posted 3 years ago yung oath of loyalty because at that time I remember I was very much offended with my staff, with my employees, no? So, nire-recall ko yung the oath of loyalty when when you are telling us na napaka-importante sa'yo na finding the right, not the good, but the right people. So parang it seems to me that you are the one who create the system in your company. Pero before mo sagutin yan, internal branding, can we equate internal branding into a so-called culture? Is internal branding a culture?
Yes. So for your listeners, and I always share this to my seminars, para tayo nag-seminar tuloy, no? Pero it's good kasi yung mga listeners mo naman are very intelligent and they are, they're really up to what they can learn from your show. But branding is just really knowing who you are, and how do you do that? You answer 3 questions, no, as an entrepreneur. First is why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you do your brand? Why does your brand exist? And that becomes your mission as an entrepreneur, as a brand as well. And second question you need to answer, not one, need to answer is where. Where do you want to go from this point to that point? Say December 4 nga tama, 2021, December 4, 2022, what is where do you want to go from this point to the next point? And that becomes your vision as a brand, as a person. And we all have our purpose in life, our existence, and you answer the why and the where, and you're set. But making it a reality, you have to answer the third question, which is how. How do you get to that vision? And how do you let people know what your mission is, no? And how is actually the culture? How is the set of values? So what usually happens, especially for startups, pero ang dami ko na discover MSMEs, 20 years, 30 years in existence, hindi nila alam bakit sila nagki-click. Sabi ko siguro hindi nyo lang naisusulat or dino-document nyo dapat kasi yung values, yung culture, it is it is something that you put in the system. Ang operations manual namin is 160 pages. So from opening the store to closing the store nandoon, the demeanor of the team members are there, what we expect, what are the penalties, what are the rewards, ganyan. So may HR portion siya. Ang dami, 160 pages. So nakasulat dun lahat. So parang it's like sort of an idiot board for anyone who forgets what to do when faced with a crisis. And you know what? That helped us also last year when we had the lockdown kasi 'di ba everybody was sent home and we had to work from home. March 16, nag-meeting kami sa opisina. March 14, 15, nag-ready kami na during the weekend, over the weekend, kasi walang pasok ng office ng weekend. Pero pumasok lahat dahil nga meron na tayong advance notice na magla-lockdown. And we were even opening a store in Bohol in March 14 last year. So nag-meeting kami and everybody was discussing about crisis management plan. Hindi ko na-realize na magagamit namin yung crisis management plan kasi syempre year after year parang 'di ba gano'n naman ang business plan or crisis management plan. Parang nandoon lang siya, you don't really read it kasi wala namang ganong crisis talaga. And then COVID-19 happened. So parang yun yung parang nag-seminar kami lahat sa opisina. Saturday, Sunday, anong gagawin natin? Ganito. Kasi we don't know when will that end, 'di ba? Kala natin parang 1 month lang and then 2 years na. So that helped us a lot to be on the same page. Parang what do we expect? So kahit work from home ka, if you want to receive salaries, you have to be reporting for work. Parang ganon. So the internal branding, haba ng sagot ko sa'yo, no? Napashare ako. Kasi you were asking if internal branding is also culture. Yes. That culture is part of the how. So tatlong questions yon: the why, the where, and the how. The how is the operational system. The how is the values. The how is the processes. Yun ang madugo, 'di ba, in any system that you really have to go through how we operate on a daily basis. Yun. Marami nakaka-miss out kasi hindi mahilig mag-document ng iba, 'di ba? Hindi sila mahilig magsulat. Tapos makakalimutan na nila. Yun pala yun. That's what clicked. So ngayon, dati may mga nung unang-una wala pa kaming gano'n, no? Yung dati kong parang mom and pop store ang operation. Tataka ako, bakit ganyan? Parang ang daming dahilan, biglang absent, biglang masakit ang tiyan ng kapitbahay niya. Gano'n na ka-absurd yung mga reasons, 'di ba? Parang biglang sira yung plano mo, etc. And a lot of MSMEs complained to me also about that. I told them, internal branding talaga. Bakit internal branding? Kasi we usually do external marketing. We market to our customers. What we forget is how we market our company to our own people. Para alam nila and they will also stay, parang they become part of the dream, they become part of the vision, and they have a sense of ownership also that yun, kanila yung journey na yun.
Kasi your operation involves not just the marketing part because you also have manufacturing, right?
Yes, up until
You
now.
control it. You also control the manufacturing.
Yes. So as you know, my husband who is environmental science, ang graduate school niya is environmental science, no? And I asked him to join us in the operations. So in the manufacturing, he's more in charge of that. So, and we also have people who stayed with us for many, many years that are still in the company. So, yun. And hindi na ganun kahirap yung manufacturing part. And we also have 2 licenses. We have a license to manufacture and a license to operate as a manufacturer and license to operate as a distributor. Yun. So even up to now, if there are brands who wish to have their own brands that are in the skincare or spa products, we can manufacture for them. Yun. It's still part of our business. Hindi lang siya orais pa lahat. Oo.
Oo, correct, oo. Katulad nung ginagawa ng mga artista ngayon, nagba-branding na sila ng sarili nilang products,
Yes.
di ba?
Yes.
Oo.
Bagay na bagay sa
Yung
iyo yun.
oo.
Bagay na bagay sa iyo yun. Meron kang sariling brand mo ng ano and we can do it for you. So, that's still
Actually,
part of the business.
napag-usapan na namin kanina yan nung isa for our e-commerce kasi the Feminine Genius had an e-commerce platform, and
Mm-mm.
sabi ko let's explore the products of Ma'am Sherill, how we can actually help our do livelihood for our members, no.
Yes.
So yung branding na sinasabi mo, pundasyon ng bahay, siya yung nagpapatibay dun sa bahay, no. In fact,
Yes.
Ma'am She, we just rebrand the Feminine Genius last September. We
Mm-mm.
just
Ganda nga eh.
rebrand, oo. Oo,
Yes.
ito lang September na ito, 2021, kasi nung start kami last year. Walang direction, tama ka doon, no? I agree to what you said. Tapos ngayon nung nagkaroon na kami ng, of course, Bon Labora, I hope he is here. Si Bon Labora, yung branding director namin, is also the one who did the logo of Sir Clarky, yung kanyang isang business yata na restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Oo. Oo, siya ng ano. So, pagka meron ka kasing brand, I just wanted this to emphasize also sa mga viewers natin, no. Mahalaga din kasi yung as a person, meron ka talagang alam mo yung technology mo kasi your technology is your brand eh.
Correct. Correct.
Napakaswerte kasi natin, Ma'am She, na example, you have your rice brand uh, products that you know it's you, no, you know that it's you, makes you this person, you know your purpose in life. Ako naman, I have my own inventions na nagkaroon ng buhay, no, kaya palaging binibigay namin sa mga entrepreneurs na please do your products and have your value proposition, kasi kanina you're mentioning about your value proposition and how this had made you gain so many awards, no, at first in the Philippines. Aside from branding, the most important thing that we can really learn from Ma'am She is franchising. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
sa franchise, Ma'am She, the capital, no, is being shouldered by the franchisee. Parang it's a way para lumaki yung iyong network or mga branches without you shelling out the capital.
Yes, yes. Kasi you've done already the other part, no, of the journey. Kasi 'di ba sa entrepreneurship, you start the brand, you conceptualize it, and then you make it a reality, and then you do the process, you make the operational system in place, right? So pag startup ka na entrepreneur na hindi franchising, traditional startup, you do that by yourself, right? And then you have to count, a lot of time before you become successful. May ibang mga swerte, but generally hindi. Medyo matagal yan na process. In franchising, you cut the process by being the boss without having to go through that period of trial and error. Kasi ginawa na siya ng franchisor, yung may-ari ng brand, di ba? And then they give you the license to use that and to have an access on the system. And they are called the franchisee. So two of the main actors in franchising is the franchisor and the franchisee. So sa spectrum ng entrepreneurship, yung kalahati ginawa na niya. Yung kalahati ay gagawin naman ng franchisee, which is the actual operations of the business. And of course, it also is included doon yung capitalization. Kaya sa mga seminars, I tell them what are the things that the franchisee should bring in the table. Kasi yung iba, when they franchise a business, akala nila sure ball na yon, no, na no risk, they're going to just wait for the income to come or the profit to come. No, it's not that. There's still risk because that's still business venture. Pero yun nga, you cut the process. You don't go through the traditional startup face kasi ginawa na ng franchisor yun. Parang kayo nag-share ng responsibility in bringing a business to life. So, yun ang iyong contribution. Now, the franchisor naman, hindi siya din gano'n kadali, 'di ba? Bago ka makapag-franchise ng isang brand, kailangan dinaanan mo rin lahat yung process of building it, having the concept, building the brand, building the following. For us, for Philippine Franchise Association, we're very strict in accepting members. So, they have to have a reputable uh, name in business, and also of course they should be able to have very maigpit nga eh. They have to be in the business, in the franchising for 3 years. They're already operating 3 company-owned stores. They're already operating 3 franchise stores before they get accepted to be a regular member of the association. Bakit ganon? Kasi if you just operate one store, for example, and you become successful, baka mamaya naswertihan mo lang eh, 'di ba? So, there has to be 3 para balanse. O, if you become successful in even 2 out of 3, mas mataas ang ano mo, ang success rate, 'di ba? So, at saka alam na ng mga tao mo how you operate the business, so they can be able to train also the franchisee staff, yung team naman ng franchisee para lumago yung business, yun. It's a very it's a very empowering tool. Yun yung description ko sa kanya. It's an empowering tool. Sabi mo nga kasi ano siya, they bring in the capital with you. So kaya yung ibang franchisors, Dr. Ria, pag lumalaki na sila, marami ng capital. Pag yung mga stores na ino-operate na magagandang location sa Limbawa, usually kina-company owned yon eh. Yun. Kasi siyempre, iba ang profit ng company-owned stores than franchisee. You cut the profit share into the franchisee. Pero kung ikaw yung franchisor, ikaw rin ang operator ng store mo, siyempre, mas mataas yung profit or revenue that you take home. Yun. Pero for me, ano yan eh, I always believe in areas or territories that are operated by franchisees that also hailed from that area. Mas alam nila yung market.
Because I had a previous meeting with Francorp about us franchising. Pero kasi, syempre, Ma'am She, we all have different business models that we want to pursue.
Yeah.
So, tama, oo. Pero franchisee, medyo maganda. In fact, I attended ito isang talk ni Potato Corner, no? Potato Corner is one of the brands that has thrived through COVID, no? And had opened several stores across different countries. In spite of the fact that it's COVID. And minsan, syempre, Ma'am Shet, papasok sa isip natin, imagine that's just a potato, no? Di ba? It's just a potato. And this is thriving. Malaki daw yung magandang kita, maganda yung sa mga stores. And they're opening more, no? So much more pa kaya yung katulad ng, yung mga products natin that there's really technology behind, no? Kaya sabi mo kanina, you protect your product, intellectual property. O guys, actually sanay na sila, naririnig nila sa akin palagi yung terms na yan. Kasi nga patent agent ako, kaya friendship ko si yung
Tama.
friendship natin, TG, hello, baka nandiyan ka. I mean, two of my friends are your friends, si Sir Nap,
Yes, oo. We have a lot of common
magkakasama kayo
friends.
na isang gabi. Yeah, oo, magkakasama kayo na isang gabi. Oo, yun. Alam mo naman itong mga sila, yung mga nagmo-motivate na motivator sila para to continue kasi the life, the journey is not really easy.
Correct.
So dito sa franchise, maybe in one time, magkakaroon tayo ng isang session, maybe with National University, really expounding about franchise, no? The magic of the franchise. Yeah, oo. We want to hear that. So right now, I think Judith will have a question to you. Judith, kasi ito, estudyante pa ito eh. Schoolmate ko to, taga Mapua, tinitrain ko siya. Sige,
Yes.
go. Oo.
Ayun po. Actually, I would like to know po, Miss Cheryl, if is there anything you would have done differently when you were first starting po?
Parang wala. Pero kasi ganito siya. Siguro nasa mindset din. Kasi as you grow older,
Opo.
you become very, what do you call that? You become very patient also, or kasi for people like us na 21 years nang ginagawa to, no? You have that grit already for waiting for the right timing, kasi right timing is really is the key. And then looking back, now I have that contentment in my heart na whatever happened in the past was actually meant to be. No, parang kaya siguro caught off guard ako, kaya nag-iisip ako ngayon while you're asking me. Siguro looking back, probably I could have been braver in terms of doing branding even during the time nung nasa ano pa lang ako, manufacturing and supply, yung dati kong company. Kasi it took me 10 years before realizing na hindi na pala ako babalik sa trabaho ko. Ito na pala talaga yung buhay ko, parang gano'n. Kasi being a career woman, parang iniisip ko, sayang yung opportunity, no? Graduating from the university, hindi ko na na-apply yung pagiging sociologist ko. But you know, Judith, what I realized, you can actually build your own ladder in business and climb that. It's not the corporate ladder lang, parang hindi naka-box pala. So sabi ko, instead of always thinking to go back to work, do that work, kasi very lucrative yung yung mga packages dati, no, when I was working. So syempre pag startup ka, sayang naman yung sweldo ko. Parang ganon.
Opo.
Pero looking back now, I realize, it was really meant to be. Kaya every time, no, I have a child, tapos lalaki siya. So, pag dumating na to ng 2 years old, pwede ko na itong iwanan, babalik na ako sa trabaho. After first child, si Elmo, may kasunod na after 2 years si Edja. And then one came after the other. parang parang sabi ko, ito na talaga. I cannot go back no to career. Then I realized, being a sociologist actually helped me understand the market for my businesses. Yun. So hindi rin pala my training in the university, it didn't go to vain. So it was also, isa sa mga awards na tuwang-tuwa ako, Dr. Ria. Siguro pag inawardan ka nga talaga ng alma mater mo, parang ang saya-saya, no? Sabi ko nga, I got the first Asia Pacific award, Asia Pacific Woman Entrepreneur, the first time for a Filipina. I got the ASEAN Woman Entrepreneur. We got the first for ASEAN Business Awards. Pero when I got the distinguished alumna for entrepreneurship from the University of the Philippines, ang saya-saya. ang daming posting, no? Kasi parang, wow, your own alma mater, recognize your efforts. Kasi tayo, sa Pilipinas, hindi na pala, all over, di ba? Parang it's very hard to be patronized in your own town, in your own university, or even your own family or your own friends. We're the ones critical at first that you can do so much, di ba? Parang,
Yeah.
it's very hard to get patronage in your own place. Pero, you bring that sa ibang lugar, wow, parang bilib na bilib sila what you accomplish. So when I got to be awarded by UP, by my alma mater, parang ang saya. So,
I saw that. I saw that picture of yours. You're holding
mm-mm.
the trophy of the oblation.
Oo.
Sabi ko, I'm supposed to put that in your thumbnail. Kaya lang lumiliit yung mukha mo, hindi nakikita. But
Mm-mm.
I have friends at UP and I actually shared your photo. Sabi ko, look at her because ang cute kasi ng oblation eh. Kahit
Oo.
siguro ako naman naka-receive na gano'n, no? Sabi ko, dapat good idea. I am also an alumnus awardee in the field of research and development, pero hindi
Mm-mm.
mapuwa yung design. Sabi ko, ang ganda ng idea. Sabi ko, yun dapat ilalagay ko sa background mo, UP.
Yung
Yung
iba,
malaking
alam mo
logo
yung
and
iba
then,
nga, may mga nakikita nga ako, mga senador or ano, they put the oblation dito. Every time interviewin sila, may oblation yung pag inawardan siya, may oblation sa tabi. sabi sabi ng husband ko, bakit pag ini-interview ka, dapat nilalagay mo si oblation doon sa ano. Sabi ko, nakakahiya naman. Pero that's one of the awards that I'm, very personally, parang ang saya-saya ko. Kasi more than being recognized overseas or, it's very heartwarming to be recognized by your own people. Parang ng sariling tribo mo. Yun. So, nakakatuwa. So, wala akong
Ako nga
babaguhin.
na-proud sa'yo nung hawak mo yun eh. Okay. Sige, Judith. What else?
Ang last question ko po is, ano po yung tingin yung ma-advise nyo sa mga students, especially sa mga gustong mag-take po or gustong maging entrepreneur in the future?
Okay, yan. Actually, yung panganay ko, nakakatuwa. Meron siyang isang talk sa YBs yata, he was invited. And that question popped up. Tapos nagulat ako, sabi ko, nga no, ang question naman is, kung wala daw capital, how do they start? And ang sagot ni Elmo doon was, capital is not just about money. So your skills, your knowledge that you've learned is actually capital. So sabi nga niya, if you don't have money yet, do not huwag kang mahiya na mag-employ, sabi niya, or better your skills. And nakakatuwa kasi yung generation niyo, Judy, dami niyong opportunity to earn online, no, virtual. Meron siyang kinikwento na kasi he's into music also, that's his hobby, pero very passionate siya doon, nagko-compose siya. So may mga friends siya na kumakanta tapos they get paid online. So nakakaipon sila. So I think that also, I believe in that as a student, you don't really have to rush things kasi as a student, you're expected to learn. You're expected to study, no? But if there's an opportunity, katulad sa kanya, there's an opportunity to start on business. Ang dahilan naman kasi ni Elmo was, Mommy, I'm 20, or he started kasi 19. Sabi niya, when you were 1920, nag-start na nga naman tayo magtrabaho, 'di ba yung batch natin, Dr. Ria, no? Walang K to 12. So, nag-work na tayo at that age. So sabi niya, pwede naman na daw siya, he can so with our help also, he embark on that. Yun. But generally for people or students who wish to start up, na generally not just students, siguro dream big but do not afraid to start small. Some people kasi they have big dreams, but they also are very shy on starting small. Parang walang humility ba? Parang gusto ka agad nila. Mangungutang sila ng malaki para malaki yung capital. That's not the way to go. You have to save up and you have to start very small. Yun. Ako nga nagtinda pa ng ice candy nung high school. Ano ba?
Naranasan ko din yan, Ma'am Sherill.
Wala kasi, di ba, walang extrang noon, hindi nagbibigay ng extrang baon ang mga magulang noon. So during summer, nagtitinda ako ng ice candy. Ang mga nagtitinda ng ice candy ko, yung mga kapatid ko, kasi sila naglalaro sa labas. Kasi ko, kaysa naglalaro kayo, magbenta kayo, 10 centavos, piso ang ice candy noon, 10 centavos sa kanila. So may concept na ako ng percentage noon. Para may extra income. So, maraming pwedeng gawin.
Yeah.
Kailangan lang po talaga open yourself to opportunity.
Yes, yes.
Yes, oo. Tama. Dapat hindi nahihiya, di ba?
Opo.
Yes. Tsaka yung, yung may inventory ka of what you can do. Kasi minsan, katulad ngayon, yung mga skill halimbawa, nakakatuwa ngayon yung mga bata, di ba meron na kayong Canva, yung nag-edit kayo.
Opo, edit.
Parang yung generation namin, nawawala, hindi ako marunong mag-Photoshop. Alam mo yun? I can dictate what I want to see in a poster or a campaign material, but I cannot tinker mag-isa. Hindi ko alam yung Photoshop. So, sila ngayon, parang yung high school ko, 14 years old, 12 years old, marunong na ng mga editing, video editing yung 12 ko, yung 14 ko, gumagawa na ng poster kasi
Opo.
nakalagay na sa kasama na sa curriculum.
Tsaka marami na rin po kasing mga bagong application na mas mapapadali
Correct.
yung pag-edit mo,
Oo.
ganyan.
Pwedeng pagkaperahan yun actually.
Opo. Lalo kapag magaling ka mag-design or
Mm.
napaka-creative mo, ganyan po.
Correct. So yun.
Yes, at si Ella, madami pa akong tanong. Go ahead, Ella.
Ayan. So, syempre, yung first question ko is, ma'am, what is your best project?
Well, the best project is always the latest project. Kasi nga sabi ko sa'yo, mabilis ako mag-move on after I do such projects at naka-establish na siya, I move on to the next naman. So, yung recent, yung sinishare ni Dr. Ria kanina, yung Ivory Space, nakakatuwa yun kasi it's a pandemic baby. So, while we were discussing dito sa bahay, kasi mga teenager ni mga anak ko, no, I have 4 kids. So, syempre, iniisip namin, ano kaya, nabobore na ba sila? Wala silang interaction sa labas. So, we usually have discussions. Tapos, yung husband ko, yung dad naman nila, mahilig yun magtanong sa kanila, anong gusto, anong ganon. So, discussions kami. Tapos, Mami, okay kaya yung ganito. You know, even during the pandemic last year, kaya si DJ Roel, no, alam na alam niya yon, Dr. Ria, kasi nagre-register kami online ng mga concepts nila just for the purpose of exercise. Yung mga anak ko, meron sila yung mga girls, may sarili silang brand for their baked goodies. Meron silang sariling brand for their teenage skincare. Ganon. Although hindi nagla-launch sa market pa, pero nag-register sila ng trademark nila para ma-exercise nila na pwede palang i-apply into reality yung idea. Hindi siya magstay lang dito. Tapos itong Ivory Space, dahil nga yung project kasi na yan na ginawa, yung project na yun sa Ivory Space, it's supposed to be like parang co-working space, ganyan. It's supposed to be a seminar space and really cafe dahil si Oryspa, lagi kami mga seminars before. So, nag-pandemic. So, sabi namin, hindi yan magiging co-working space. People will not go and, register in the co-working space. So, tinweak namin. Tapos sabi namin, yung aming pagkaka-lockdown na kami-kami lang nag-uusap, tapos we do ideation. Natutuwa ako kasi yung mga anak ko, mahilig din mag-usap about ideas, yung nagkikwentuhan kami about, ano kaya kung ganito? Alam mo yung mga questions na ganon? Parang meron silang love for science, no? Yung curiosity. So, sabi namin, kung tayo ganito, I'm sure there are a lot of families also who seek refuge on the safe space or bubble for ideation. But we will not be, we will not be stuck on that for the rest of our lives. Pero, yun nga, hindi na babalik yung mga sabihin na, not in the nearest future, no? Yung mga buffet, na eat all you can, na lahat. Parang, it has to be, a safe space for you to talk. It's, yun nga, tapos sabi ko, what's important for me during the pandemic, wow, nakaka-relax ako without feeling guilty kasi, you realize na, yung health mo pala yung importante. It doesn't matter anything, but the most important thing is that you are alive. Diba? Doc Ria, yun lang yung single most, the singular thing that is important, no, during the height of the pandemic. Buhay ka. So sabihin ko, dapat may place na nakaka-relax ka without feeling guilty. Kasi tayong mga women, lagi tayong guilty, no? Pag nagbigay tayo ng oras sa sarili natin, parang it's nahihiya ka. And you deserve that naman. So sabi ko, there should be that space. So inoffer namin yung space na yon, not just for family use, but for everybody who wish to go there, have your friends. Kaya meron siyang parang private meeting place. Tapos yung hybrid na training place sa 3rd floor. Tapos you can have intimate events or activities sa roof deck. It's a very relaxing place. So yun yung greatest or parang ano namin, biggest project namin ngayon. Yun.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ayan. Ayan. May question po si Ma'am Ria. May follow-up po ba kayo, Ma'am Ria?
No, I'm looking kasi for the Christmas tree eh. Ang ganda kasi ng
Okay.
Christmas tree nila doon, no?
Oo nga, ma'am.
Hinahanap ko yung picture ko. Doon sa Christmas tree
Tapos
sa Oryspa.
yeah.
Oo.
Yung sinishare mo kanina, Doc Ria, na ano, yung photo, 'di ba? Yung may logo ng Ivory Space. Sabi nila, bakit Ivory Space? Kasi yung Ivory Tower, it's a metaphor for ideation place or a retreat, no? Parang retreat for ideation, intellectual discussions. This is very common
Hmm.
in academe, yung parang kaya nga 'di ba bibiruin ng iba, "Ay, i he was sort of raised in an ivory tower, hindi siya, in touch with reality." Parang ganyan, kaya raised in ivory tower kasi it's a metaphor for, retreat for intellectual discussion. Pero sabi ko, hindi pala naman siya masama. Sabi namin sa family, well, hindi siya masama to actually shut down from reality. Kasi 'di ba, there were times na makikinig ka ng news, parang nagsisikip na yung dibdib mo eh. Kasi bad news, one bad news to another. Sabi namin, we can actually have that space of retreat, and it's not something to be guilty of, no, to shut down yourself from reality, spend time with your friends in a safe space. Kaya instead na ivory tower, it becomes ivory space kasi space yung ino-offer namin. Tapos nung dinududal namin yung logo, ivory space, magkapatong yung ivory tsaka yung space. Wow, nasa gitna si Oryspa. Hindi namin pinlano yun. Kaya it's really goosebumps. Over dinner, so we're doodling. My husband was, making ano rin nung ano sa parang eureka sa amin. Mga hating gabi na parang ilang gabi kami nag-uusap. Anong ipapangalan natin? Ganyan, ganyan. So, buong family was, involved. And we were really hoping that it will be, the center is relaxation. Parang pupunta ka doon, kakain ka, relax. Ngayon may ino-offer ng ano doon eh. May ino-offer na sa Ivory Space na mga meals, comfort meals. Tapos meron na siyang yung mga charcuterie board, meat and cheese platter. They also have wine. So parang meron kami mga bisita doon, nagtatrabaho, nagchichill lang sila, nakatingin sila sa Sky Garden, wine silang konti with their friends. 'Di ba? Very relaxing. So pwede yung ganun. So yun yung concept nung space. Kaya nakakatuwa. Sabi namin, imagine mo, nandun pa rin si Oryspa sa gitna nung pinaka logo. So, yun. Eventually, there will be relaxation spaces talaga doon. Kasi, di ba, Doc Ria, nakarating ka sa second floor, may swimming pool siyang maliit, no? May
Honest,
lap pool.
yeah.
Oh, so, there will be parang later on, ang expansion kasi nun is relaxation place, ganyan.
And it opened on COVID eh, di ba? It opened on COVID time eh.
Open, tapos after some time, ECQ na naman, 'di ba? Very challenging. Pero yun nga kasi ano siya eh, na-enjoy din namin eh as a family. Parang kung wala yung project na yon, naku, edi bored to death na lahat ng ano. Kasi ano yan eh, it gave us also, wow, everyday may ako nga, even as simple as pagtatanim, di ba yung Sky Garden, hindi na yun kinontrata eh. Kami-kami na nagtanim noon. So, dahil sa dami ng lockdowns, nung nag-open ang market, ang lagu-lagu na ng mga halaman doon, di ba? Talagang, sabi namin, very challenging.
And ang ganda ng concept kasi ng mga upuan, ng table, no? I like the
Oo.
interior. Very unique.
Ang ganda nga. Parang napaka-relaxing tignan. Ma'am, do you have any regrets in life?
Wala. Yun nga yung tinatanong kanina ni Judith kung meron ba akong babaguhin. Well, not really. Sometimes, yun nga, we're always, hard on ourselves. Makaka-relate kayo kasi you're all also very hardworking, no? All the empowered women always have that parang I can do so much better than this, parang ganon. Parang I can do so much more. Pero yun nga sometimes at the expense of our health or our mental health na ano. So, ngayon ang pinapractice ko being happy with what I accomplish and then what I can do with what I am blessed with. Parang, the stewardship mentality. So, wala naman. Minsan lang may mga atake ng gano'n na, ay, ano kaya? Pwede kayang ganito? Pero, you have to pat your shoulders, no? Na, okay na. Ano na tayo? Kita na yung effort.
Oo. Nagwa-watch lang, shout out lang, Engineer Froy Martellano, our guest last week. Siya yung president ng American Concrete Institute Philippines. Hello, Sir Froy.
Hi, Sir Froy.
While you're talking about that, ano yung the regular day? Ano oras ka nagigising? Bigyan mo kami ng what is your life as an entrepreneur, yung the daily, yung eating, yung sleeping, yung resting, etc.
Well, I'm always late.
Ano oras ka nagigising
Oo nga, no? Dapat maaga nga tayo natutulog, yung mga eye bags natin, di ba? So, I'm a late sleeper hindi ako maagang matulog. Pero that's always something that I challenge myself to do. Tapos yung teenager kong daughter always reminds me, Mami, kailangan ka na matulog. Meron pa nga ako dito sa phone ko na parang reminding me, sleeping time, ganyan. So I'm usually still awake until mga 11:30, ganyan, or midnight. Tapos, maaga ako nagigising. Pero dahil kasi nga work from home tayo, and hindi naman tayo reporting for office talaga. If I don't have meetings in the morning, sometimes I do take a nap back before lunchtime kasi parang nahihilo-hilo pa ako pag sobrang aga akong magising tapos entire day ka ng grinding. Yan. Tapos, what's good thing also with us, with working women, yung days natin, or for entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, iba-iba yung araw Hindi monotonous, di ba? But my schedules usually, on Mondays, we have meetings at the office kasi yun yung huddles namin. Tapos, I also enjoy now working from home kasi yung mga bata, even if they have classes, it's also online distance learning. Nag-change din yung dynamic sa bahay Tapos even how we dress up, 'di ba? Mas relax. Hindi parang ayos na ayos dito sa taas, pero nakapambahay ka pa, 'di ba?
Totoo, relate po.
Relate, diba? So, ngayon lang naka-dress up ako for Dr. Ria at sa inyong dalawa. Pero usually yun, relax. Tapos ngayon ang challenge ko sa sarili ko makapag-yoga on a regular basis. May sister ako na na yogi. So, merong ginagawa nga niya, bini-video niya yung classes niya tapos pinapanood namin ng daughter ko while we do the yoga kasi pwede Yun. And every night, kung maghapon kasi kaming busy, nakakapagkita-kita kami pagdating ng gabi, minsan before dinner, after dinner, nagro-rosary kami. Isa yun sa family activity na naibalik namin because of pandemic. Kasi dati, pag may klase sila, sa alabang pumapasok yung mga high school ko Pag uwi nila, pagod na, tutulog na. Parang hassle mo ng yakagin na mag-rosary. Pero dahil nga nung pandemic, nasa bahay, yun bumalik, parang every night talaga. Yun na rin yung para naming bonding, parang bago mag-rosary, lokohan, biruan, minsan nagi-games. Tapos yun. So yun yung, essentially yun. Morning, pagising kasi, check ako lang ng mga nung messages. More of yung mga group messages na importante. Hindi ako masyadong email person. Yung iba, emails, talaga. So parang, gabi ko na yun chine-check. Kasi minsan, pagka meron kang mga emails na nare-receive kaagad, hindi naman, minsan hindi urgent, Naaano ka na dun na parang nada-drag na yung umaga ko dun sa mga emails. Kaya gabi ako emails. Ang immediate sa akin yung group messages ko.
Ayan.
Meron
Sige,
po akong gustong sabihin.
go
Gusto ko
ahead,
lang
Judith.
din pong i-share kasi yung family ko din po kasi nung nag-pandemic, bumalik din po yung pag-grocery namin.
Prayer
After
time.
oo, after kumain po is ayun nagro-rosary po kami and yung mama ko po kasi, she always pray po and ayan, tinuruan po niya kami talagang mag-pray and mag-rosary. Kasi 'di ba po pandemic hindi na po nakakapunta sa church. Kaya
Mm,
ayun po, nagro-rosary na lang po kaming buong pamilya. Yun po talaga yung
mm.
bonding namin din. Nung nag-pandemic na po, mas mas naging close kaming lahat. Ayun po, kaya natuwa po ako nung na-share niyo din.
Parang prayer time.
Opo,
Yun. Kami naman ano eh, nakakatuwa kasi malalaki na yung mga bata. Sila na yung ano, sila na yung nagyayakag. Parang
mm,
ano, kaya bawal may mga sobrang mga activities pa na ano, na makaka-hamper doon.
opo.
Sila na yung nagre-remind.
Tas kanya-kanya pa pong prayer leader kung sino ngayon, sino bukas,
Oo, kami
ganyan.
din, kami
Opo,
din. May naka-assign. Oh, eh,
opo,
4 sila. So, kami ng dad nila ay ano, hindi na kami, hindi na kami kasali dun sa pag-ikot. Sila na lang
opo.
4 ang naghahati sa 7 days.
Tas
Yun ang perk
opo.
ng magulang, yun ang perk ng magulang. Yan.
Sa'min naman po yung mga bata po, yung mga pamangkin ko po yung nagiging prayer leader para
Oh,
mas
nakakatuwa.
ma-memorize
Oo.
nila. Opo.
Sila din, kaya sila nag-start nung maliliit pa sila, mga 3, 4, 5 ganyan. Gano'n din, prayer leader. So, yung 4 na anak ko. Kaya nasa ulo na nila. Tapos natigil nga
Mm,
yun for quite some time. Parang every weekend na lang namin nagagawa. Kasi nga, busy na. Tapos nung
opo,
nag-pandemic yun, parang sabi namin, "Oh, nakakatuwa, pwede ng ano, sila rin yung nag-umpisa. Tsaka syempre, di ba, ano tayo noon, very uncertain. Parang yun lang yung kinakapitan natin, prayer time. So,
opo.
natuloy-tuloy naman. Yun, naging bonding time na ngayon yun.
True, ma.
Ayan. Ay, so my next question po, Ma'am Cheryl, is what is your most and best project po?
Ay, natapos na yata yan.
Or I mean, I'm sorry, I mean, what is your most or significant investment?
Yun din. Si Ivory Space. Kasi 3 years
Ah,
na
natanong na
rin.
ba? Sorry. Oo. Ayan. So, ano ma'am, the question is, who is your hero or idol, your mentor, or someone you mirror your life with?
Actually, ang hirap ng question na yan kasi ang dami eh. Even, tsaka kasi ganito, I'm not really, parang very yung singular. Para kasing, sa mga nami-meet ko, especially women like me, meron ako napi-pick up na something na kahit parang hindi, I mean, relatable. But halimbawa, hindi ko naman siya, okay, kaya pala niya ginagawa yon. Or kaya pala siya ganito, gumaling siya doon. Ito pala. So, alam mo yun, you pick up bits and pieces from everybody that I actually, actually I meet. So, yon. There's not singular person na parang, kasi hindi hindi rin ako more of a, boxed person parang, ito yung model, hindi gano'n, eh. Parang I'm more of a go with the flow. So, yan, bits and pieces from, different people, all sorts of, all sorts of people from different walks of life. Pero siguro meron akong value influencer, yung grandfather ko, is the father of my dad. And he used to be principal, public school principal, tapos district supervisor siya. Ang district supervisor ng mga public schools, 'di ba, during the 80s, very well respected sila. Tsaka iba ang ano noon, old school, 'di ba, yung parang mga ano sila, very strict, ganyan. And we live in the ancestral house. Doon ako lumaki sa bahay niya, bahay ng parents ng dad ko. I'm the first apo. So, nung elementary, every morning, pagpapasok ako sa school, I have to allot mga 30 minutes siguro, nag-aantay sa service. Pupunta ako sa home office niya. Yung home office niya may desk, tas may makinilya. Alam mo yung makinilya nung unang panahon, yan. Tapos merong bookshelves, andun yung mga libro. Nung unang panahon, nung 80s pati, mga 1983 to, ang mga libro lang na mababasa mo, mga encyclopedia or kaya naman comics. Ang comics pinaparent pa noon. Ayan, Judith, ano yan, mga panahon ng parang sa inyo kopong-kopong na, pero syempre in yung childhood, mga comics ipaparent out. Pero bawal naman sa amin noon kasi syempre educator yun. Bawal ka magpasok ng comics sa bahay kung hindi baka ihampas sa ulo mo yung comics, no? So mga encyclopedia. So wala akong ginawa kasi bawal lumabas kundi magbasa ng magbasa. Naubos ko na ng kababasa yung mga Encyclopedia Britannica niya kasi wala ibang mababasa. Hindi rin uso magti-TV noon. Walang cellphone. So, nung every morning, pupunta ako sa home office niya, meron yung multiplication table, yung tatanungin ka ng question, ang sagot nasa likod, di ba? O, Doc Ria, alam mo yan, kasi yung multiplication table, fa-flash sa'yo, sasagutin mo. Pagka, mga usually 10 questions, pag na-perfect ko lahat yung questions, meron akong additional piso na baon. Ang baon ko lang noon, piso. Kasi marami ka na mabibili sa piso noon. Mga soft drinks is 35 centavos lang yata during that time. So, ang pamasahe noon from yung Los Baños to Calamba yata, parang 60 centavos, 50 centavos lang, mga ganon. So, marami na yung piso as baon. Ang Nutriban is 20 centavos. So, pag may additional kang piso, wow, big time yun. So, gusto ko ma-perfect yung questions, no? But, isa lang yung mali, wala kang piso. Sa loob-loob ko, napaka-unfair naman itong lolo ko. Parang dapat sana 90 centavos kasi isa lang mali ko. O kung 5 mali ko, sana may 50 centavos ako kasi nakatama naman ako ng ilan, 'di ba? Na 5 right, 5 wrong. Hindi eh. Isa lang mali, wala lahat. So, ganun. But looking back, nung adult na ako, tsaka nung naging entrep na ako, sabi ko, yun pala yun. You have to do things the right way every day. Na excellence pala is a habit. You have to keep things doing every day right right way, 'di ba? Yun nga. So anyway, excellence is a habit. Sa kanya ko natutunan 'yon. So if there's someone that really had a tremendous effect in my value system, siya yon, yung value influencer ko. Yung grit, everyday, kailangan gawin mo ng gawin ng tama. Kasi what happened to me, pag may mali, ganyan, ginagawa ko, sinusulat ko. Kasi baka bukas, bukod pa sa wala kang piso, pagagalitan ka pa. 'Di ba? Galit na galit pa sa'yo. Kasi ano ba yan? Yung mga ganun, malakas ang boses. Susulat ko. The following day, ganun. By the end of that school year, grade 3 ako, in 1983, ayan, mako-compute na ng mga viewers yung edad ko. By the end of the school year, sa ulado ko na yung multiplication table. Kasi sinusulat ko na sinusulat. So ngayon, looking back, yun pala yun. No? Grit, excellence, is a habit. So all the, parang core values, I learned from him. Yun. Iba yung disiplina noon eh. Iba. So, yun.
That's true, oo. Iba ang mga lolo. I love
Correct.
my lolo din so much. Oo.
Mm-mm.
There's a question from Bon. Siya yung aming branding director, no? Bon Labora.
Yeah.
Is there something that you want to do that remains undone and what's stopping you from doing it?
Okay. Meron akong, yan, kasi related to branding. You know what? Before pandemic, we hired a foreign consultant that actually helped us form a brand and registered it sa tag dito sa ibang bansa. It's supposed to be launched there. It's parang ang ano niya, ang tag dito, ang identity niya foreign brand. Ayan, Doc Ria, kasi 'di ba Filipino branding si Oryspa. Kanina binabanggit mo 'yan. Parang ang hirap, parang yung technology can be sold somewhere and can be branded doon sa ibang bansa na 'yon. We also have that tag dito project na na-shelve. So, The reason why I'm not doing it, dun sa ano nga bang name ni engineer 'no, na nag-question is capitalization. I mean yung ano, yung, I shelved that project dahil the resources na ilalagay ko doon, nilagay muna namin sa ibang project, yun. Kasi hindi naman tayo unlimited, 'di ba? Hindi tayo only yung, capitalization. So, yun. Siguro, later, we will launch a brand that is, um, international siya, yun. Naka-ready na 'yan, eh, nakatapos na lahat ang, brand DNA, brand map niya, pero hindi pa siya nila-launch. Tapos all the intellectual assets nasa akin naka-register na rin. Pero marami pang
So,
kakaining capital,
pang
eh.
ano ka, pang international ka na ngayon? Yun more on focus mo is go export. Ang tanong tawag mo doon, export hindi. Export.
Well, establishing another brand in the international market, for the international market talaga. Pero kasi, hindi well, ang focus naman namin talaga is to still grow the brand here. Kasi ang nangyayari dun sa iba, gusto kaagad nilang mag-export, tapos wala silang following sa Pilipinas. Eh ngayon, yan, for your viewers, um, who are on the crossroads, no? Ano ba, mag-export ba kami or mag-focus ba kami sa Philippines? There's no dichotomy. If you want to export your brand, you have to build your brand in the local market. Kasi even importers, yung mga nag-import ng brand, o foreign importers, i-import nila yung brand mo, they also ask kung kilala ka ba ng mga Pilipino, yung brand mo. Yun. So, yan. Kasi ano siya, eh, may mga market kasi na kailangan parang ang branding is, for them. So, yun yung isang naka-shelf na project. Hindi siya priority namin ngayon. Yun, kaya ano siya, naka-focus kami dun sa, Filipino brands namin. Yun.
Okay. Ma'am, may follow-up question lang po ako. Kasi nagko-coach na po kayo 'no, and, kasi when it comes to branding po kasi parang, sa akin I have difficulty pa on that kind of
Mm.
branding level po. So,
Oo.
ano po ang maipapayo niyo ma'am, for example sa akin if ang gusto ko kasi is, nasa IT po kasi ang field ko pero I wanted also to, of course grow on, online selling in the future kapagka
Mm.
siyempre nasa age na rin ako. Ayan po. Ano pong
Ano
puwedeng
mapapayo na ano?
anong
Anong
pinaka
tanong?
pipiliin kong branding ma'am para po tumatak po sa tao yung brand ko, like that?
Well, siguro yung, more of, you're thinking of the brand name, no? Or
Yes ma'am.
yung iyong trademark, 'di ba?
Mhm.
Well, kasi katulad yun sa'min kay Ivory Space, kami yung nag-ideation nun sa bahay. Parang and it will only be clearer for you by answering yung sinasabi ko nga kaninang 3 questions, no? The
Ah,
why, the where, and the how. Kasi
tapos
people tend to, especially 'no, 'pag mga consultants halimbawa for, packaging, labeling, "Ay, parang mas maganda yata ang pangalan ng products mo, Judith," parang gano'n,
hmm,
or Ella. Eh, minsan hindi naman 'yun angkop or appropriate,
mm.
'di ba? So, upon answering those questions, you get to know your brand DNA. And when
Hmm.
you have that, yun, everything becomes clearer. Kasi ano siya eh, but the general tip kasi or parang tips for names that are parang may recall, they tend to say na dapat relatable kung nasang industry ka. Pero Apple nga eh, Apple siya, 'di ba? Mansanas, oh. So, doesn't really have, that, parang rigid rules on that. There are a lot of books kasi that give suggestions on picking up a particular brand or particular name for your
Mm.
business. But for me, because it's the creative process kasi, it
Mm.
doesn't really follow strict rules. But in terms of branding, you have to answer the questions that I was asking earlier. Yun.
Alright.
Kaya malalim siya. Pag may seminar workshop nga ako on branding, yung seminar workshop on branding, umiiyak yung mga participants after eh. Kasi parang they have to dig deeper with what they really are able to bring into the market eh. Yun.
Ayun. So, actually ayan, thank you ma'am for that answer kasi na-note ko yun, eh, yung the how, the whys, and the where.
Yeah.
Tapos, you've mentioned also the how, parang nandun yung values and process. Yan.
May question si Sir Froy, sabi niya, dapat ba daw ay tumatak sa tao ang brand name?
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely, sir. Kasi your brand name actually it's the connection, it's the perception of the world to your company or to your product, 'di ba?
Hmm.
So, it's the perception in the eyes of the world. It's not really how you look at your how you look at your brand eh. So ang brand mo dapat tumatak kasi dapat siya meron na siyang emotional connection.
Mm.
Um Nung nag-lockdown kami last year, first di March 16, first 2 weeks, happy pa kami, no? Kasi syempre parang relax time. Tapos, ano ba yung mga pinag-uusapan nilang Korean novela? Makapanood nga. Kasi you have time eh, di ba? So, but then, after a week, eto na, mga customer namin, oh, sarado ang store. Paano kami makakabili? Ganyan. Ang dami na ngayon sa website, sa Facebook, sa Instagram, nagme-message na. So, yung marketing namin are already back to work after a week. Tapos, di ba, problematic tayo sa transportation. So, we had to ferry our people na dispatch. Ang dispatch namin, ang unang-unang pumasok ng opisina. So, they need to dispatch the orders. So, that's when we realized that your customers, may following na yung brand. Ganon. Kasi sila na naghahanap sila. Na-stress na kami, hindi kami makatulog. Kailangan namin bumili ng meditation balm. Kailangan na namin ng chili oil. Eh lalo na stress ang mga tao. So, sila na naghahanap. That's when you know that your brand already gained following or yun nga, tumatak na. So, dapat ma'am, para tumatak ang brand name, dapat unique. Yes, of course. Oo. Well, unique in the sense of knowing what you offer eh. Not really a unique brand name. Well, it helps, no? Katulad nung nag-ano kami. Tsaka kasi hindi naman mare-register sa IPO kapag yung mga generic na mga names. Meron silang mga tenets eh or baseline. 'Yon. Kami nung una namin ni-register si Oryspa, wala siyang katulad na not even close to it. Ang parang pinaka is Oray Airport yata 'yon in France. So parang no one really thought of that word, 'yon. So dapat tatak talaga siya sa tao. 'Yan. May recall ba, madali nilang ma-associate. Masakit ang ulo ko, bibili ako Oryspa, gano'n. Gusto kong mag-relax, bibili ako ng chili oil ng Oryspa. So 'yun.
Okay, galing naman. Ma'am, my next question for you is, if you are not who you are right now, then
Mm.
who would you be?
Well, probably I will be in the development work, 'yan. Or sometimes I'm parang contemplating, siguro baka nasa real estate ako, mga gano'n. Iniisip ko minsan, 'yun. Or probably I'm just full-time mom. Although sabi ng husband ko parang hindi yata. Parang kasi parang I'm really, a working person. So, 'yun. Siguro nasa ano pa rin, kasi nung before din ako maging entrep, I work with WWF, World Wildlife Fund, I work with USAID, I work in Ateneo, Ang dami kong trabaho in just a short period of time after graduation. I also was a teacher. I was a college professor at the age of 22. So parang parang may hinahanap ako. Yun pala yung creative process. Sa entrepreneurship kasi, yun nga, there's the creative process. Parang yun yung nag-ano sa akin. Yun yung na-enjoy ko siya. Na, wow, 20 years, dati nga 10 years na pala akong ganito ginagawa. Hindi ako lumilipat ng career. Tapos ngayon, 21 years now, same career. So, yeah, I think I would be still entrepreneur, but siguro ibang field kung hindi ito. Yun.
So there's another question from Ronel Ramos, no? Since it's pandemic, what advice you can give for those who want to start a new business during this pandemic, no?
Well, there's no straight answer for which product or which business that is that I can advise, no, that you start with. Pero ganito kasi, during crisis, ang daming opportunities. A lot of people go into food business kasi yun yung essentials. Lalo pa during the early days of lockdown, ang pwede lang negosyo ay food business, 'di ba? So, ang dami-daming nag-food business. In fact, marami nagluluto sa bahay tapos naging negosyo na nila yon, which is good. But I always tell them, supplying from your kitchen and then you get more orders, if you don't have a system in place, you will not be able to sustain whatever business you start during the pandemic. So, um, what I can advise is that take a look at what are the trends. Kasi there are trends during the pandemic. So what are these? There are trends in terms of importance for healthcare or for wellness products. That's always going to be an in thing for customers, di ba? And of course, products that provide comfort at home is always a good venture because it's not just food. So, makita mo nga ngayon, may mga groups on decorating the home or 'di ba mga term nga nila nabudol sila ganyan because there's a demand for comfort at home kasi we get to sit katulad ngayon ilang oras na tayo nag-uusap 'di ba, so we're sitting down kung hindi tayo comfortable sa pagkakaupo natin masakit na mga natin mamaya. So there's a lot of demand for that. There's also demand for there's also demand for sa amin sa franchising there are a lot of concepts that can be franchised yan and so yun yung mga and this is the Ronel, this is the tawag dito, even pandemic or not, your baseline should be what is your appetite for risk. Your appetite for risk also includes money, includes your time, no? And your talent. Kasi baka mamaya, ay gusto kong mag-business kasi maganda yung delivery system or delivery app, mga ganyan, no? Marami kasing gano'n na lumalapit sa akin. Okay ba yun, She? Well, all businesses, you should have to do due diligence. Tapos, pag over the top sa budget mo, wag yun. Kasi, mas mataas ang risk ngayon during pandemic. Kaya, dapat very calculated, no, ang moves mo. Tapos sabihin naman ng iba, bakit good time na mag-business during crisis? 'Di ba kahit saan naman, no? In economics, the principle of economics, high risk, high return. So, ibig sabihin, during this time that things are risky, yung mga matatapang ang nare-reward, 'di ba? Ngayon, kung ikaw ay nasa safe, ka lagi, comfort zone ka lagi, ay you'll never win, 'di ba? So, yun. So that's the reason why this is a good time to do business kasi this is a risky time. Yan. Parang gambling din ano. Pero gano'n talaga, eh. High risk, high return. Pero yun nga, as an entrep, kailangan ano ka, all eyes, all ears, talagang gising na gising ka kasi baka mawalan ka ng pera, eh.
Yan. Ayan. So, ma'am, my last question for you is, how can you help the feminine genius advocacy of Dr. Ria Liza?
Mhm. Yes. I always believe that empowered women empower women, no? Sometimes it's very hard. What I also observed during my early days as a woman entrepreneur, I cannot find a good environment for me to thrive during the time. Parang when you work with women, there's always competition. I don't know if you see that, no? Pero marami nagfi-feedback sa akin ng gano'n. And now, as I grow older and I meet a lot of successful women as well, the most successful beings or women don't have that sense of competing with other women. No? Ibig sabihin, if you're already, kaya pag may mamimit ka na hindi insecure, ibig sabihin yan, successful talaga yung tao na yan. Kasi empowered women empower women, no? You don't compete with your same gender. Now, how to help one another? I like the example of Dr. Ria helping out Judith, no? As as a young woman, no? Kasi it is also there are things that we've gone through that in terms of they don't have to go through the same mistakes. There is such thing as I've said earlier, vicarious experience. You can learn from others' journey. So how to help in the feminine genius is to actually recognize that women can do a lot of things and ayoko sabihing better, magalit ang ating mga friends, no? Pero, there's no competition between gender. Tas ganito, they always tell me, is it hard for you to be a woman business leader? It is, because sabi ko nga, may mga misconceptions. Halimbawa, ganito, magsasalita ka. And people, kung lalaki siguro, they don't care about the wrinkles that flashed on screen because you're on Zoom, kitang-kita yung face mo, 'di ba? Pero pagka women ba, parang very ano yun, magnified yung portion na yun, no? Parang we tend to be weighed on, sadly, no? We tend to be weighed on how we look rather than what we accomplish, no? Or how we accomplish things. And how we can help with one another, uh, it's really empowering or enabling each other. Whatever sector, we can always have something to learn from with one another. Yun. And sa akin, it's not just mentoring, but really enabling. I'm very particular also with providing mentorship with women entrepreneurs kasi sometimes they have a hard time talking with male mentor or yan, male mentors kasi syempre 'di ba? Sometimes hindi ka makapag-reach out eh. But yun nga, with female mentors kasi, you can talk heart to heart. So I try to give time to provide that as well. Now for feminine genius that are listening now, I want you to realize that success has no gender. No? It has no gender. And so is hard work, and so is loving, embracing the process is genderless. No? When you become successful, people don't look whether you're a man or you're a woman. They just look at you as you're a successful business leader. Yun. So, work your way to being successful in what you do. Whatever career you're into, you just have to, you know, um, embrace the process. Yun. Yun, Ella. Ako po.
Thank you, ma'am. Naku, we've learned so much now from what you have said. And recorded po 'yan, 'di ba, Ma'am Ria?
Yes. Recorded kaya hindi na siya makaka-atras. Yes, the mentorship, kailangan ng mga kababaihan yan, lalo sa
Kailangan namin.
entrepreneurship, no? So when we have already a pool of women members who are into this, katulad ikaw, Ella, nagkakaroon ka ng confusion sa branding, etc. Siyempre, one of these days, no, we can tap Ma'am She on with other members as well who has issues regarding branding and putting
Sure.
system uh, in their businesses. So, ang dami, actually, very relatable kasi yung topic, no? Lahat tayo nakaka-relate sa gusto iparating ni Ma'am She. Ma'am She, habang magsha-shoutout kami, we can now test kung nakinig yung mga audience natin. You can write 5 words in the private chat that we have on the right side of your
Mm.
screen. No? 5 words that you
Mhm.
significantly mentioned during your discussion that you will also be the one to give the clue. So habang nag-iisip ka, magsha-shout out lang si Ella. I think there
Ah,
are a lot
sige.
of people now watching us because we're reaching about 50 plus na. Hindi kasama yung madami ring nasa Facebook right now eh. Okay, so shout out ulit kay Sir Froy, shout out to si ano nandiyan Judith, si ACIP student president. Jaren is also
Si
watching.
Jaren po, oo, nanonood po siya.
Jaren is also watching. Okay. So, sige
Ayan.
Ella.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Mega love shoutout po 'no, sa mga hindi ko po na-mention kanina and, ba-backread po ako dito sa StreamYard, live chat. Ayun. So, pumasok po kanina maraming pa-angel po si Sis Chofie. So, una ko siya nakita may paharang na kaagad siya 'no. So, ang harang po sa YouTube, it means, yung ads po na nagfa-flash po sa channel ni Ma'am Ria. So, by watching that, ayan, tulong po niyo po rin sa, channel ni ma'am yon. And, mega love shoutout po kay Jazzy Carril, AJ Sarmiento, siyempre kay Ma'am Kat, Happy Dangs 04, Polens TV, ayan, Fermina Sunga, ito yung hindi ko hinahabol ko pa kanina. Ayan, sabi niya pa-shoutout po yung mga anak. Ayan, ganda ng gabi po sa lahat. Ayan, sending virtual hug. Thank you so much po sa Team Helpful Official and Chofi Honey. Ayan, thank you sa paharang and um meron pa yang mga Chofis Universe, Chofis Future. Ayan, thank you so much sa pa-angel natin dyan. And Jenny's Adventure, thank you for shouting Team Helpful. And also, nandito rin po si Chofi My Love. Ayan, harang and thumbs up daw ulit. Thank you so much po. By the way, sa mga bago pong pasok ngayon, no, ang dami kong names na na-encounter dito na mga bago po. I hope, wag niyo pong kalimutan na bigyan ng thumbs up po si Dr. Ria by clicking on the like. And please also don't forget to subscribe her and also kay Ella Wans. And mega love shoutout po kay Chofis Future ang nakikita ko and Chofis Honey and si Simon Timayor. Ayan, proud former Oryspa uh, employee here. Ayan, nag-shoutout po yung very supportive na employer po, employee ni Ma'am Sherill. And nandito rin po si Rain Rose Channel. Ayan, thank you so much for tuning in. Sis Rain Rose, all the way from US po siya. And also, may message po si Montemayor. Whatever happened in the past is meant to happen for the success of your future. Statement daw po yan ni Ma'am She way back 2017 during the Christmas party daw nila. Very powerful and motivational daw po. Thank you so much for sharing that. And also may pumasok po na hindi ko mabasa Maria yung name. Beppo Hinka. Ayan, Vast.tech. Ayan, I think this is a company name or siguro mga friendship ito no sa mga
I think that's from Myanmar eh. Baka it's friend of Kalyar.
yan. Ayan. So, mega love shoutout po sa lahat ng mga taga Myanmar diyan kay Kalyar. May Facebook user po na nag-send ng 3 hearts. Thank you so much for that. Ayan, wala pong name na nag-reflect dito.
Jaren,
And
it's
Sir
Jaren.
Jaren, hello, mega love shoutout to you. And sa lahat po ng viewers po ng Facebook Live, kasi hindi ko talaga siya nakikita sa YT. Pero dito sa StreamYard, nag-reflect po siya. And mega love shoutout po kay Sir Javier Centeno, Erlinda Cadillo, ayan, Cat TV channel from Dong Tigidong. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shouting Team Helpful. Mom Ella, Facebook user, hello Doc Ria, Judith and Ella. Ayan, mega love shoutout po sa inyo. Hindi ko po makita yung name ninyo. Ayan. And also, nandito rin si Sir Bon Labora. Ayan, mega love shoutout po sa ating brand director po ni Ma'am Ria. And that is Sir Bon Labora. And parang yung pakape yata ni Sir, hindi pa yata. Siningil eh. Ayan. And
Bon, yung pakape mo daw, Bon.
naalala namin eh. Ayan. Thank you so much, Sir Bon, ayan, for helping out, no, of course, the feminine genius in terms of branding. Kaya we're so amazed dun sa, nakita naman natin, di ba, yung screen ni Ma'am Ria. Napakaganda na po. And may galap shoutout po sa aking DIT classmate po, Sir Ronel Ramos. Ayan, good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Ito yung mga friendship na isang message mo lang talagang hindi ka bibiguin at po, talagang magsusupport sila kay Ma'am Ria. Mega love shoutout din po kay Ma'am Aligore Fable 1005. Ayan, thank you for tuning in. I hope you are well now, Ma'am Aligore. Sabi niya, hello, good evening everyone. Ayan, thank you so much po. And also, nandito rin kanina may nabasa akong Anthony by Team Helpful. Hello po sa lahat. Thank you so much for tuning in and for supporting Ma'am Ria. Ayan, and I think this is Sir Froy, no, na naisagot na po yung tanong niya kanina, wherein about po sa branding. And nasagot din po yan ni Ma'am Sherill. Hello po, mega love shoutout po kay Sir Froylan. Thank you po sa pakape po. Sa Starbucks po yung kanya kasi big time po si Sir. Paano daw po yung pang Starbucks namin, Sir? Magbe-virtual po ba kami? Joke lang. Ayan. Ayun. So, sabi po ni ayan, mega love shoutout po kay, Ian Elas TV, Trexie, Eloise, ayan. Mega love shoutout po sa inyo thank you for tuning in. And also sa lahat ng mga ayan, haha, coffee coming soon. Mega love shoutout sa lahat po ng mga hindi ko na-mention na names na nasa Facebook Live ng The Feminine Genius. Kasi hindi po nagre-reflect kasi ang mga names ninyo, no, unless iba-broadcast ninyo or shoutout ninyo yung name ninyo para maisama ko sana dito sa attendance. May pa-grand raffle po si Dr. Ria this month. So, I hope so, no, na kung sino yung pinaka-deserve talaga, no, na kailangan niya yon, siya yung manalo. So, ma'am, back to you. Mega love shoutout po sa lahat at syempre sa mga co-host po.
Okay, so we have 5 words. Ayan. Naalala ko kasi last week, nagtanong si Sir Froy ng napakahirap, highly technical. Ang nakasagot, non-engineer. Akala ko walang makakasagot si Sir Froy kasi di binanatan tayo ng mga ACI code di ba? But anyways, ayan, meron tayong 5 questions right now. Sige, Ma'am She, you can now start the clue for number 1.
Sa akin naman ang dadali, di ba? Para masaya gabi. Okay, first question. These are 2 words actually. And this is the first mindset or the first guiding principle ko that I shared earlier. Yan. What is that? Yan. Binanggit din ulit ito ni Judith later on. 2 words. First mindset. Gising pa ba mga kasama natin?
Gising na gising pa yan, ma'am. 6 seconds delay from...
Baka delayed lang yung sagot nila, ma'am.
Delay tayo. Oo. Minimum of 6 seconds. Pero parang mahirap kasi yung tanong. Ako pa yung nahirapan.
Parang delayed din yung dating sa ano ko. Headset ko.
That's 2 words.
Go, Ma'am Kat. Nahirapan yata sila.
Nahirapan sila eh. Pray hard. No. Sige, keep coming.
That's the last. Yan. Malapit
Open
na.
mind.
Go. Sige pa. Right purpose. Sige pa, go. Nahirapan sila.
Dapat nga madali yun ba't nahirapan sila?
Empower women. Sige pa, go. Internal branding.
More clue daw, ma'am.
Yun. Tama na yung open mind. Pero ano yung i-open mo pa? Ikaw yun. Open.
Ando na yung clue.
Sesame.
Ando na yung sagot.
Yeah. Okay. Siguro, let's go to the next. No?
Okay, next word.
Yan. Fill in the blanks. Empowered women, blank women.
Ay, may sagot na kanina. Ito, may sagot na. Open yourself. Facebook user.
Okay. Very good.
Nauna si... Okay. Tignan na lang
pareho
natin
sila ni
mamaya
Ma'am
sa
Kat.
Facebook user. Oo. Pareho sila ni Ma'am Kat, pero nauna si Facebook user. Okay. So, word number 2. Go.
Empowered women,
Ayun na. Meron na.
blank.
Okay.
Yan. Si Ronel,
Yan. Okay.
empower. Very
Congratulations.
good.
Number
Congrats, Sir
Third
Ronel.
question. Sabi ko to nung bandang patapos na yung pag-share ko. Success is blank. Yan. Sabi ko, at the end of the day, success is blank. It's not about being a woman or being a man. Success is blank.
Go. Kayang-kaya niya yan. CCU.
Correct. Kayang-kaya niya yan. Nandun na. It's not about being a man or a woman. Success is blank. That's why you have to embrace the process and really work hard to be very good at what you do.
Ayun.
Yan.
Yes. Genderless.
Galing. Good
Nag-share.
listener.
Ronela. Yes. Okay.
Number
Fourth
4.
question is, I am an advocate of blank, and it helped me in my journey, for my entrepreneurial journey to soar. Yan. So, what is that? So, it's the process of knowing who you are, the process of answering the 3 questions that I asked: why, where, and how. What is that? The strategy that I embarked when I had Oryspa.
Sige pa, go. Change is wrong. Sige pa. Ella, yung nanalo pala kanina si Jaren. Ayun. Branding.
Branding.
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations.
Tama, no? Branding is not brands. Branding. Kasi dito wrong spelling wrong.
Yeah, oo. That's the strategy.
Sige, last question.
Last question. Blank is the power from growing one to many. Yan. It is the power of growing from one to many. What is that? Yan. Another concept or business model that I'm advocate of. What is that? In this concept, you have franchisor and franchisee. Yan.
Okay, franchise. Okay na ba 'to?
Ewan ko
Next,
sa inyo kasi
may mali.
wrong spelling, wrong sabi niyo eh.
Sige, kailangan the right. Ayun, kinorek niya agad. Ang bilis. Jaren Villegas,
Oo.
franchise.
Congratulations, Jaren.
Congratulations. Also a student from Mapua.
Wow,
So,
congrats, Jaren.
congratulations to all. Oo. Ngayon, Ma'am She, kasi dito,
Yes.
pinapakita natin yung mga ating guests, eh may maraming talent.
Mhm.
So, kailangan ng isang challenge. Pwede mo ba kami pakitaan ng talent mo?
Na ano? Ano?
Guys, ano gusto niyong gawin ni Ma'am She? Ayan, baka sila
Wala na
mag-request
akong
dito,
energy. Ano na, sleeping time ko na. Anong challenge? Wala akong talent.
Ano gusto niyong talent, guys?
Wala
Na
ako noon.
ipakita ni Ma'am She.
Bag raid na lang.
Ay,
Bag raid daw.
Wallet raid.
Parang sakto-sakto mo, bag raid. Ako yun din yung gusto ko makita
Oo,
eh.
maganda siyempre ang
Bag
bag
niya.
niya, di ba?
naku, oo nga, ano ba?
Kasi baka mamaya gusto niya ng closet raid.
Ay, wow. Bongga.
Wala naman ako. Nandito ako sa room ng daughter ko.
Sige. O sige, bag raid na lang daw. Or else kakanta ka.
Magti-TikTok
Oo nga,
si
nasa
ma'am.
bagay, lalabas pa ako. Lalabas yung bag ko.
Room tour
Kasi
daw.
wala naman ang bag ko, nagtatanggal naman ako ng ano. Kasi wala naman tayong lakad.
Room tour daw po.
Hindi, room to ng anak ko, baka magalit siya. Pero may katabi akong chocolate, oh.
What chocolate is that? Parang egg shape.
Almond chocolate.
Sarap.
Yung egg shape nga o almond.
Oo, di ba? Pero ito lang yung supply ko kasi bawal ako kumain ng marami.
Bakit ano ba?
Wala akong
You have
talent
spicy.
Doc
Sige, kahit
Ria,
na ano lang,
yun na lang, mga laman ng libro ko, yan, talent ko. Pero,
Ayan, pwede
hindi ako
po.
marunong kumanta, hindi ako marunong ng mga talent. Oh.
Yan. Yan ang talent ni ma'am, magsulat ng libro.
Oo. Mahilig ako
or
magsulat
poem
dito
daw,
sa yung notes
poem.
na app.
Hindi,
Yan.
bag raid niya. Bag raid or poem or ref raid. Lahat ni raid eh, no?
Oo.
Ayan daw o ref raid.
Bababa pa tayo. Nasa 3rd floor ako.
Ang daming gustong i-raid eh, no?
Skincare routine na lang po.
Cosmetic raid, cosmetic raid,
Skincare
beauty
routine.
tips. Oo. Skincare
Beauty
routine.
tip. Yan. Marami ako niyan. Oh.
Opo, need yan.
Beauty tips. Sige, beauty tips.
Kahit nung college ako, or basta nung dalaga pa ako, hindi ako mahilig mag-makeup, especially nung dalaga ako. Pero ngayon kasi, as you age, meron kasing, nung nagtuturo ako, sabi ko nga, naging college teacher ako at 22 years old, sinabihan ako ng dean namin na, kailangan ko raw matutong mag-makeup kasi mas bata pa ako dun sa mga estudyante ko. So you have to make para mas magmukha kang mature, mas mukha kang professional yung dating, ganon. So, yun. And then I started doing my own makeup and I even enrolled in Center for Aesthetic Studies. O, di ba? Pwede akong mag-makeup sa iba. Okay. So, anyway, ang skincare routine ko, hindi talaga ako natutulog ng hindi malinis na malinis ang face ko kahit na pagod. Yan. Kung hindi ka makakaligo, basta kailangan malinis na malinis yung face. Tapos, sobrang simple ng skincare routine ko, pero morning and afternoon. And morning and evening, yon, clean up, tone, tapos no particular brands. Meron din kami ng mga skincare kay Oryspa, pero kasi mahilig ako mag-experiment kung ano yung mga latest, ganyan. Tapos, and ito yung tip ko, especially sa mga kasing age ni Judith, no? Don't wait for older years before you use sunblock. Yan. Kasi mainit sa Pilipinas, kailangan talaga magsa-sunblock kapag lalabas. Ngayon medyo hindi na kailangan mag-sunblock kasi nasa loob tayo palagi ng bahay. Pero minsan unconscious tayo, no? Yung even yung salamin, pumapasok yung sun rays, you have to use sunblock. Yan. Tapos, okay, meron akong favorite gawin na it helped me also, ano ba yun, yung skin hindi masyadong mag-age kaagad. Yan. Nag-exfoliate ako at least once a week. Yan. Ano yung exfoliate? Scrub, whole body, ganyan, scrub. Para yung dead skin cells mawala. Kasi if you just wait for it, magiging dull yung skin, magiging magiging parang dull. Ganun. So,
Opo.
kailangan siya, scrub your skin once a week yan. Tapos, pag early morning, ang mga talks, mahilig akong maglagay ng ice. Para
Opo,
gisingin yung
maganda daw po yan.
para gisingin yung skin ko. Hindi ako hindi ako nagtuturok-turok ng mga pero sabihin, bakit hindi ka nagre-wrinkles dito sa Sabi ko, kasi siguro dahil mahilig akong mag-moisturize tapos mahilig akong mag-ice ng mukha ko. Kasi inaantok-antok pa ako sa umaga.
Rice, yellow.
Oh, yellow. Yan. Gini-yellow ko
Pang-close
ng
daw po ng pores yun.
Oh, niyeyelo ko. 'Di ba pagka nasa ibang bansa tayo tapos
Pagkagising.
Oo, not every day ha. Pag meron ako, 'di ba nagzo-Zoom kasi tayo, minsan ang aga-aga may Zoom. Tulog pa yung skin natin natutulog din yan eh. So, syempre, tulog pa siya sa umaga. So, ginigising ko siya by putting ice. Minsan yung mga spray, yung mga anak ko, meron silang mga ginawa-gawang facial mist, nakalagay sa ref yun, ini-spray sa face para gising. Pero ako yon, ina-ice ko yung skin ko, yung mukha ko para magising yung mga cells ng mukha. Yon. I think yon. Tapos yun nga, mahilig ako magkuskus. O, sabihin naman iba, naku, nagpo-promote lang si ma'am ng mga scrubs. Well, sa Oryspa, marami kaming body scrubs kasi supplier kami ng mga spa. So, huwag ka ng, dahil, naman, bihira yung open ng spa ngayon or yung iba takot, di ba? Bumili ka na lang ng scrub, meron kaming salt, meron kaming lotion base, scrub mo yan once a week. Tapos, maligo ka. Ang tip is dry scrubbing. Huwag mong basain ang skin bago mag-scrub. I-scrub ka muna bago ka pumasok sa shower. Ayan, para talagang tanggal siya. Ngayon sabi mo, ma'am, ang mahal naman, paano, wala akong budget. Pwede po ang iodized salt or asukal. Pero sa CR ka dapat kasi baka mamaya yung sugar, pwede rin sa lips. I-scrub mo sa lips mo yung sugar para mawala yung dead skin ng lips. Saka ka maglagay ng lip balm. Yan. Beauty tips
May ask lang po ako. Kung recommended nyo po ba yung facial scrub sa mga acne prone po?
Kasi yung acne skin, kung meron kasing opening, hindi ka dapat mag-scrub. Kasi baka lalo siyang
Baka ma-irritate. Opo.
Lalo siyang mai-irritate. Pero kung natuyo na, wala nang active na you can exfoliate para matanggal yung dead skin cells. Yun.
Opo.
Pero
Sa mga acne prone po kasi medyo challenging po kung ano yung product na gagamitin mo talaga.
Correct. Yung mga teenagers ko din, ganon.
Opo.
Basta cleanse the face and merong mga acne, yung for moisturizer for acne prone skin. Yan.
Opo.
Yon.
Ano daw yung brand na ginagamit mo? Brand?
Hindi kasi, hindi ako masyadong particular sa brands kasi nag-experiment kami. Parang part din yun ng namin. Ako yung parang guinea pig. So, it's not really particular with mga kailangan mahal. Hindi ako naniniwala doon. Minsan mga lang nga drugstore brands. Yun, tinatry ko siya. Tapos ko siya. Brand na gamit sa skin scrub, Ma'am Kat, Oryspa siyempre. Bakit pa ako bibili ng iba? Ang gaganda ng body scrubs namin kasi sinusupply siya by the kilo sa mga spa. Yan. So, malaki ang supply ko ng body scrub. Ini-scrub kong ano yung buong katawan ko kasi ano siya. Meron pa din kami,
So
ano,
malamang
meron kami Doc Ria na ready to use. Tapos meron kaming parang tag 85 pesos lang, good for the whole body. Lalagyan mo lang siya ng oil or lotion, tapos ihahalo mo lang. Tapos yun na yung i-scrub mo. Ano tawag sa kanya? Milk salts. Yun. Alam ko 85 pesos lang yun. Buong body na. Applicable na to whole body.
ayan so ang dami na nating hint na ng mga products from Oryspa. Of course, we would like to explore kung paano tayo magkaka-access doon sa mga products ni Ma'am, no?
Oo,
In
discount.
ano naman yan, maraming mga branches kayo, no? Mga
Yes, but
yung mga
ano kami, yes, but you can shop conveniently online. Sa Facebook, you can just go to Oryspa page. O, kahit kay Ivory Space, pwede rin na page. Sa Instagram, it's ivoryspace.ph. Tapos sa ang Oryspa naman, oryspa.ph sa Instagram. Sa Facebook, Oryspa lang. Sa Facebook din, Ivory Space lang. Ngayon, kung may kailangan kang Oryspa products, kahit sa Ivory Space ka mag-chat, kasi yung showroom ni Oryspa, nasa Ivory Space, ano naman, magkatabi lang sila. And the people answering there is part of the same team. Yan. Mas marami silang ngayon kasi gift giving, di ba?
Yeah. So, ako kasi nakita ko na yung showroom nila. The chili, I have that yung the chili
chili oil.
Yeah, chili oil. I'm putting on my hands bago matulog para medyo relax yung ano ko.
Relaxing, oo.
Medyo relax
Pero nga
ako.
dati, yoga teacher. Tapos nag-yoga kami ganyan, no? Nag-a-assist siya sa akin one-on-one. Tapos may pinapaamoy muna siya sa akin para ma-relax. Sabi ko, shucks, parang familiar yung amoy. O, rice pa pala. Sabi ko, nakakatuwa naman to, small world. Sabi ko, parang familiar. Sabi, relax muna, ganyan, ay napaamoy sa akin. O, rice pa yung mga gamit ng product. Nakakatuwa.
Okay. All right. So, it's 2 minutes before our end of the show. Maraming nakarelate sa topic. Even sila Sir Froy, nagtatanong sa'yo, mukhang magtatayo si Sir Froy ng bagong business. Okay. Asking about so many branding. I know he's coming up with his own testing, no? Concrete testing facility. Okay. So,
they visit here, Doc Ria. They visit dun sa Ivory Space. Kasi 'di ba nakita mo, ang DTI lagi din may seminar sila doon. On branding, yes, product development.
It's a good events, no? Events venue.
Lagi kami may doon, may mga seminars. Also, we'll probably open a class for kasi may mga individual din na nagtatanong So, we'll probably open an individual class for some certain topics.
All right. So, thank you. Of course, I'm thankful kay Sir Clarky because siya yung tinawag ka sa loob ng office mo. Pangalawa ko na kasi punta doon, hindi ka namin nakikita. So, on the second time, pinakilala ka sa amin, no? And then, when I search about you, sabi ko, oh my God, this woman needs to, kailangan namin ma-meet to. Kailangan marinig to ng mga feminine genius. So, thank you for your time, Ma'am She, no? So, just a simple goodbye words. What it takes to be an outstanding ASEAN woman entrepreneur?
Well, for me is really what it takes is really having the right people to work with you and having the right people who believe in your vision, whether it be mentors, colleagues, or even supporters. So, and what it takes to be the ASEAN woman entrepreneur is really believing that being a Filipina is being world class, being global, believing in yourself, and never doubt that you can really be at par with any nationality. Uh, what it takes to be an ASEAN woman entrepreneur, or being whatever you become to be, is really having that faith, embracing your faith. And yun, I think that's it. Uh, and siguro, lastly, never be afraid with failures. Failure can be a stepping stone for you to, like a ladder, going to the ladder of success. That's a stepping stone. Learning from your failures, from your mistakes, and always dream big, but uh, be ready to start small. Yun. And lastly, dami no, to take for being recognized internationally. Uh Yun, embracing what you can offer to others, and learn from others, no, teachability. Yun.
That's very good. Yung last maganda doon, be teachable. No? Be teachable. Learning from other people's stories,
Mhm.
humility. That's a
Yes.
belief of the feminine genius. So thank you so much for imparting your journey to us. If you are an inspiration to all of us, not just the woman out there, but also the men, no? Yung dami nakipag-interact sa atin.
Ang
And
dami
if you
nating
just need,
men
oo,
na viewers.
you just need some the products of, or go to the website, to the Facebook page Oryspa. No, you can see a very good venue place, no, in Laguna, para sa mga team buildings ninyo, and of course the product of Oryspa. Thank you so much, Ma'am Sherill. Magkikita ulit tayo for sure, dahil madalas naman kami nagpupunta ng Laguna.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Ria, for
Thank
the
you.
opportunity to and very relaxing chikahan this evening. Thank you, Judith and Ella, and to all your viewers. God bless you all. Take care, and see you soon.
Thank you din
Thank
po
you. Thank you
and
din
good night
po.
po.
Good night, Ma'am
Good night.
Mabuhay ka.
Ah,
Thank you.
thank you po.
Okay. So, ang dami nating baon na naman.
True.
Okay, so just to recap, before we leave, guys, tanong lang natin mga key takeaway ng ating mga co-host. Let's start with Judith. Judith, what's your key takeaway?
Actually, ang dami po eh, no? And to be honest, syempre, ito po yung first time ko maging co-host dito sa channel, and I didn't regret po kasi I gained a lot of knowledge, na-inspire talaga ako sa journey ni Miss Cheryl, and I've learned that it's not an easy po to be an entrepreneur. Like, it will take a lot of up and down. And sabi po ni Miss Cheryl, one just have to be passionate po to start a business. Siguro ang pinaka-tumatak po sa akin is yung greatest challenge ni Miss Cheryl, which is finding the right people. Kasi if you know the right people to work with, you know your heart is. Because business will move in a positive direction po if you know the right people po to work with. Also, natutunan ko rin po na you will never know what you need if you don't know yourself. Because if you know yourself, you will never go wrong. Ayun po yung naalala ko kay Miss Cheryl. And ayun po, if kilala mo yung sarili mo, you know what to accomplish. And lastly, sa guiding principle niya is always pray po. Yun talaga yung pinaka hindi ko makakalimutan. Ayun po.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Judith, for being our co-host for today. At paswerte nga kayo yung mga young generation, because majority of our listeners or viewers are actually in your age bracket. Kaya napaka-importante itong nakaka-capture yung buhay ng mga taong katulad ni Ma'am Cheryl, no? to be an inspiration to young people, especially yung mga ka-age ni Judith. Okay. So, thank you, Judith. See you again next Saturday. It's your schedule next Saturday. Okay. And then, yung pabaon mo, yung learnings mo, Ella Ones.
Hello, Ma'am Ria. Ayan, of course, marami-rami ito. So, ang pinaka-tumatak kasi sa akin is open yourself to small opportunities. Kumbaga, dream big, sinabi niya to, but don't be shy to start on a small ones, 'di ba? Kaya hindi naman pwedeng, 'di ba, ambitious tayo lagi na ganun nga, mangungutang daw kaagad ng big capital, hindi naman necessary 'yon. And syempre yung sinabi ni Ma'am na branding, kailangan ko kasi talaga yun, Ma'am Ria, kasi I have started my channel already and dahil experimental ito, so I don't know ano yung ifo-focus ko kung if I will remain forever na magpapa-good vibes lang or gusto ko talaga may product ni Ma'am Ria, somehow like you na merong product na ipo-promote. So meron siyang sinabi kanina 'no, yung dapat daw para ma-achieve yung branding, you should be able to answer on the three questions, the how, the where, and the why. Ayan.
Very good. Oh. The why, the where, and the how. Oo, tama. Doon sa branding. O, sa mamaya guys, mamaya sila Ma'am Kat, magtatatanong na yun sa sarili nila, masusulat sila. They will ask themselves those three questions, yung foundation nga, di ba? Branding. The why, where, and how. Okay, thank you, Ella. I think you have your branding, the piety and devotion lead. You just have to expound on that. Think of that because as I've told you, the Python devotion lead is one that I saw in you. Bagay na bagay sa yung brand na yon. Tanongin mo lang ulit yung why, uh, where, and how para mas ma-expand mo pa si piety and devotion lead. Alright, so for me, again, yung very striking to me yung a lot of people are losing opportunity to build empires, no? And marami siya napansin mga MSMEs na kaya hindi nag-grow, it's because there's no system in place. So siguro dito, madami sa atin nagtatry ng mga small businesses, okay? Pero para kay ma'am, siya, you need a system in place. So put a system in place. Actually, kahit sa sarili natin, put a system in ourselves so that we can achieve our goals. Okay. So maraming maraming salamat. Talagang hindi tayo pinapabayaan ng mga suki natin. Salamat sa inyong lahat. Yung pakape ni Sir Froy. Sir Froy, if you're there, hinihintay namin yung pakape mo. Bon, we're also waiting for your pakape. Okay? And thank you sa lahat ng mga nanood. Wish to see you again next week for more learnings. Exciting again yung guest natin next week. Bye-bye, Ma'am Kat, Ronel, Jaren, Chofi, Allegory, Bon, who else are still there? Happy, of course, thank you. Yung mga hindi ko pa nabanggit, natulog na. Thank you so much. Ang dami hindi ko mabanggit lahat. Salamat sa inyo. God bless all and see you soon. See you soon pag face-to-face na. Okay, goodbye. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Ella. See you again next week. Okay? So we're closing out
Bye.
in a
Thank you,
count of
thank
three.
you.
One,
One.
One.
two, three.
Bye.